Gunmen in 2 vehicles randomly opened fire on Saturday night. 2 alleged gang members on the run have been identified as possible suspects. This community member says arrests must be made urgently because they are worried about their safety.
I don't believe justice must be done. In the name of Surreal, Alvin, and what is that? Justice must be done. I believe it must be done. I'm very upset. I'm very sad.
In the capital, Mamelodi residents have threatened a shutdown in Pretoria today following the murder of 2 women. Cousins Baliseng and Siamo Moramaga were shot and left on the side of the road more than a week ago. They were laid to rest in their home province of Limpopo yesterday. Tebogo Mnisi, who's believed to be the boyfriend of one of the women, has been arrested. Civic Movement Soil of Africa wants Tshwane Mayor Nasipi Moya and Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi to speak to the community about plans to deal with crime in the area. The organization's Bongani Ramonja says they will bring the city to a standstill if their concerns are ignored.
We have Metro Police and SAPS, but they are nowhere to be seen in high-risk zones. Our children are dying and our women are being slaughtered, and gangsters are ruling the street. The silence from those in power is a betrayal for their own people.
Police officers involved in the high-profile arrest of alleged crime boss Katiso Katie Mulife are expected to testify before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry today. Mulife was arrested by members of the Gauteng Counterintelligence Operations Unit and Political Killings Task Team members in connection with the murder of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart. Swart was shot in a case of mistaken identity 23 times outside his company premises on the south of Johannesburg in April last year. Oren Singh reports.
In addition to being charged with the 2024 murder of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart, Katiso Katie Molefe is also accused of having a hand in the 2022 murders of music producer Opa DJ Sambodi Sefoka and his 2 bodyguards, and businessman Hector DJ Vintos Putelezi. Molefe is currently out on bail. He and several co-accused face charges of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and possession of unlicensed firearms and ammunition. Ballistic reports of the firearms used in the murder of Swart have linked the guns to at least 18 other serious criminal cases. Detectives from the investigating team in the Swart murder previously testified at the Madlanga Commission about alleged interference from the Hawks and Gauteng Traffic Police during Molefe's arrest almost a year ago. Oren Singh, Eyewitness News.
And at least 7 people have died and 150 others injured following a 6.3 magnitude earthquake in Afghanistan. Authorities say the quake struck near Mazar al-Sharif, one of the country's largest cities, in the early hours of this morning. Mazar al-Sharif is home to more than 500,000 people, many of whom have rushed to the streets when the quake struck, as they feared their houses would collapse. Today's quake comes after a 6.0 magnitude earthquake struck Afghanistan's mountainous eastern region in late August, and that one killed more than 1,000 people. Gold is trading at $4,011.41 an ounce. The rand is at 17.31 to the dollar, 22.75 to the pound, 19.97 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $65.13 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 North. This is between the Golden Highway and the Diepkloof interchange. Peak time delays there. There's also slow-moving traffic already on the N3 North approaching the Bukloo interchange due to roadworks.
And in your sport, heartbreak for the Proteas woman who lost to India by 52 runs in the Cricket World Cup final. Springboks call up Asanati Tlabakanya to replace the injured Oxen Chair. And Manchester City right back up to second in the Premier League after beating Bournemouth 3-1.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. Johannesburg starting at 14 degrees, peaking at 21. Pretoria 15 and 22. Vereniging 13 and 22 as well. The top story in EWN this hour. Recha Park residents on Johannesburg's East Rand are calling for justice after 6 people were killed and others injured.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
5 minutes after 6 o'clock, welcome to 702 Breakfast. It's the start of a brand new week, a brand new month, really. It's the 3rd of November, the year of our Lord, 2025. We're inching on towards the end of the year. What a year 2025 has been. Has it been mostly good for you? Is it one of those, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just a kind of moseying on along? Have you learned anything about yourself in 2025? Have there been any shifts in the way you see the world, in the way you see yourself? Have you had an aha moment, a light bulb moment? Have you wasted 2025? You know, there are years that you waste. You look back and you think, what did I do that year? What did I achieve? A year of procrastination? Or has it been a year of excellence? A year of doubt? Or a year of self-revelation? I'm really keen to know what kind of 2025 you have had. I'll tell you what, for the people in Reiger Park on the East Rand, 6 people killed just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Others were simply walking, going to the shops. 2 gunmen, or at least gunmen in 2 vehicles, randomly just opened fire. How does this kind of thing happen? What's the reason? And is it any clearer now? This will be solved. Let's go.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Welcome to the show. My name is Bongani Bingwa. I'm not alone, of course, 702 Landers. As always, I've got producers Siamtanda and Robfiu are taking your calls. Garabo is responsible for all the social media clips you might see, the snippets on social media. We're coming to you, of course, live from our Santon studios, streaming on YouTube. You can catch the show there. There are many people who think KG Start the Clock does not exist. I promise you he is there. You can hear him laughing there in the background. Amuhelang Ramela.
Good morning, Bongani. Morning, 702 Landers.
How has 2025 been for you?
It's been very interesting. Very interesting. If there's one thing that I can say I've been busy with this year, and I know it's very mommy of me to say, it's the homeworks. I've been so engaged with my children's homework. I feel like I'm back at school.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good place to be. Muteo, describe 2025 in a word.
Rough.
Ooh.
I think I've had more losses than wins this year, which happens. And also just putting out fires, man. Putting out fires. But we're still here. We still wake up and are grateful. But 2025, I would sum it up as quite rough. But
You'll be happy to see the back of it.
Yes.
Really, one of those years.
Definitely.
Ooh, I think it's been a year of growth for me. Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's been a year of growth, at times uncomfortable growth. It's been a year of humility. I've had to face up to my own demons, to my own ego. Had to tone it down a little. So it's been that kind of year.
It's been humbling.
Yeah. But I feel good though. I feel good about the lessons that I've been learning and going through and experiencing. I'd love to know. It's the 3rd of November. What kind of year have you had? In a word, do let us know how you would describe it. Now, on our show today, we're going to put the spotlight on what our first guest says is the most appalling conflict unfolding anywhere in the world. He says on the sheer scale of it, if you look at the numbers, the number of people dead or killed, the number of people displaced, and often the reasons why they are targeted, which of course is race, there's no conflict that comes even close to what's unfolding in Sudan right now. And he's asking a very important question. Why are we so vocal about conflicts elsewhere? And why are we silent when Africans kill Africans? Why is the AU so silent? Why is South Africa so silent? We'll speak to the veteran editor and journalist Matata Tsedu, who wrote a searing piece in the Sunday Times about exactly this just yesterday. And then our big interview, which by the way has gone live. Well, I say live. It is up on the Eyewitness News website on EWN. You can catch that also on Prime Media Plus. You may remember Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, the health minister, talking about a whistleblower who was a long-time anti-corruption crusader in the Department of Home Affairs. And one of the things Dr. Motsoaledi said was, We don't know what Babita Deokaran might say if she were around today, right? Because they killed her. Well, they tried to kill Mr. T too. They pumped bullets. He walks and breathes with bullets still lodged in his body to this very day. He was an anti-corruption crusader in the Department of Home Affairs. He lives in hiding. He spoke to us undercover. It was a whole operation. We had to meet him on a particular day, and we would say we're at this location, and then he'd say, okay, move to that one. And when we got there, we had to move to, I think, to 3 or 4 locations before he would tell us where to meet him. It was all cloak and dagger kind of stuff. But he's doing so to keep himself alive. They've tried to kill him at least twice. At least twice. And he knows, this is the worst part of it, he knows who was behind the attempts on his life. It was colleagues that he was testifying against that said he needed to be got rid of. He needed to go. And Mr. T is still fighting. So we've got a much fuller length interview on EWN. We're doing this in conjunction with Eyewitness News, but we'll play parts of that interview after 7 o'clock as the big interview. If you want to know the whistleblowers that they killed, what they might say if they were alive, that's an interview you better not miss.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
Here's a shout out this morning. It's a fun one for really fun reasons, I think. Speculative, I suppose, but we'll tell you in a moment what that means. In your relationship, how comfortable are you that your partner or your significant other has friendships, adult friendships, with people who could potentially be their partners? So most typically, how comfortable are you with your husband having friendships of the opposite sex, or your wife, as the case may be? And do you have do's and don'ts? Are there rules in your relationship about how close your significant other can get with other people? At work, long-standing friendships that maybe go back to childhood, maybe people, you know, those relationships that don't work out and become amazing friendships? Do you tolerate those in your relationship with your significant other, that they've got friends of the opposite sex, friends who could replace you? Or do you think it is what it is and you don't want to come off as insecure in your relationship, particularly if those are long-standing friendships? Is there space for them to develop a new friendship through work, through business? People do MBAs together. They spend many weekends away at seminars together. There are these study groups, and people grow close. Kids of the same age, careers that are similar. They know the same people. They go to the same parties. Do you worry about your significant other spending what you might feel is an inordinate amount of time with somebody else? And what are the rules? What are the deal breakers? Do you check their phone? What have you found? Did you regret it? Send us a WhatsApp voice note on 072 702 1702. We'll tell you why we're asking that question coming up.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Amo, are there do's and don'ts? Should there be do's and don'ts?
Of course there should. Of course there should be boundaries. You shouldn't be living your life as if you are not in a committed relationship before. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, be committed to
So
your
those friendships were fine before.
I don't know why KG is laughing.
Those friendships were fine before.
Yeah, before I was around, yeah, they were okay. But now that I'm here, there should be boundaries.
Jimu met them.
Yes,
Eh?
I'm the.
Alapaku.
There should be boundaries.
Yeah, I think Amu's on the defensive there. She should be part of the Proteas woman. It's open. Make friends, have another life, meet new people. I don't think, it's a problem. And I was saying this to Amu off air that your partner should be the one setting the boundaries, not you dictating what the friendship should be like. Because if you are the one doing it, you've already lost. You don't really trust your partner, first of all, but now you don't trust yourself.
Do you call out your partner when you feel like the boundaries they've set if they're being naive, perhaps?
Yes,
sometimes
you can point that out.
That's what it is,
You can
right?
point that
They
out.
think, nothing would ever happen, and you know your person and you're fine, with their behavior, but
Yeah.
you're saying to them, hey, watch out. This person isn't as well-intentioned as they might appear.
You definitely do that. But my thing is that you don't say when they're telling you, oh, I met so-and-so, and you're like, who's that? Why are you talking to them? If you start doing things like that, then
You've already lost
You've already
some
lost.
of the battle. All right, we'll take your calls. I think that's an interesting one on 072 702 1702. We'll take your calls, your WhatsApp voice notes on 072 702 1702. We'll also, of course, take your calls on 011 883 0702. Now, in other news, Papa, who remembers Papa? The self-professed prophet, Shepherd Bushiri. He, interestingly, of course, had that extradition hearing of his overturned by Malawian court on Friday. So the Department of Justice is still studying what that judgment looks like and what that means for the extradition of, I'm going to call him Shepherd Bushiri, prophet. Prophet's a foot. He claims he's a prophet, but yeah, let's not go there. But maybe he is, because he's no longer coming back to South Africa, at least not for the foreseeable future. And he now says South African officials demanded bribes from him to let him stay in the country. Have a listen.
Through a smear campaign that was lodged against us. In 2016, I was approached by a group of police officers. I call them corrupt police officers, whose names I already mentioned, and I'm going to mention them again. The likes of Rebi, she's a captain in the Hawks, Mare, Maritz, and a whole group of company, and a certain gentleman known as Captain Ngobeni, who eventually we realized that him alone was not the part and the parcel of the Hawks, but he was their proxy who was being sent to solicit money from us. These did not hide their intentions through this Captain Ngobeni, but to speak that we had to pay 12 million rands if we had to stay in South Africa.
That's what he says. They demanded 12 million rand, or they were going to kick him out. And so that's the narrative he is pushing now as to why he left South Africa in the first instance. He even says at one point they sent a helicopter to hover over his property as part of the scare tactics. And
this was apparently known as protection fees. This issue became a very serious issue. It can be very important for me to actually remind some of you who remember at some point in time when I stood on pulpit and spoke about this, to say I was met by these police officers. They are saying they need money, and that today if I don't give them money, they'll come here to church and cause an arrest. And I said I'm ready, and I even said I'm not scared. We remember that moment when we were harassed at church with a police helicopter that came and flew at very below altitude level just to scare me. At the very same time, we had a police van at a church parked, and I think some of you remember. And all they were saying was so simple, to say, will you release the money or you are ready to be arrested? Well, for now, it does appear that Shepherd Bushiri will not be coming to South Africa anytime soon because, as I say, on Friday, a Malawian court overturned an earlier order to bring him to South Africa with his wife, Mary, to face the music in this country. And at the moment, that doesn't seem to be on the cards. The Justice Department saying they're studying that. He made those comments, by the way, at a church service at his Nation Church back in Marawi, but he will not be in South Africa anytime soon.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
It's 19 after 6. Mateo Haripa, you've got a question of your own?
Yeah, I want to know this morning, are you a good complainer? Are you the type of person to let things slide, or you relish the effort of letting people know that you're not happy with their service? Or are you happy to eat the meal you didn't order?
Ooh, so in a restaurant setting type?
Any setting of service provider level.
I'm often well aware that part of the reason you may get bad service, particularly in a dining environment, is that it boils down to poor training. And often you've got to remember as a patron that most of the time the people who are serving you do not themselves spend time in the establishments that you go to. And so you've got to, I always see it as a teaching moment where I'd rather help the server to understand what it is they can do better. So I see it as more as an empowering moment.
Yeah.
But if the issue has to do with the meal itself, then that's a different conversation altogether.
And if it's a service provider that probably handles your money, your insurance, things like that, are you happy to complain?
I'm a little bit more firm. It depends. It's situational. 21 after 6.
702.
Weather.
Time now to tell you what conditions you can expect on this Monday. Isolated showers and thunder showers in Gauteng. Temperatures 21 degrees in Johannesburg. Your high for Vereeniging and Pretoria. And even Bombela is 22 degrees. Bloemfontein mixes at 28. 26 for Durban. 28 for Gqeberha. Cape Town, it's a fine day in Cape Town. A high of 30 degrees.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got delays leaving Eldorado Park. An accident has been reported on the N12 East. It's right near the Golden Highway. Delays from Klipspit Valley Road. About a 15-minute hold up there. And then you'll also be met with more traffic volumes along the N1 North just as you turn off from the N12 exit towards the Diepkloof interchange. About another 15-minute hold up there. So at this point, it will take you about 30 minutes to just get to the M1 North if you're heading towards the CBD, of which is also experiencing some delays between Boysons and the Car Street exit. Please be on the lookout there and drive with care. I'll have more updates for you, but if you see anything else, we're on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a nervous but excited first-time driver waiting for the perfect gap to switch lanes. I can do this. The pressure. The Outsurance pointsman knows it's not just a car in traffic. It's a sense of freedom and independence on the move. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
What do partners of the Gates Foundation do when facing the world's toughest challenges? They keep going. From discovering a plastic drape that helps detect excessive postpartum bleeding faster, to developing better bed nets to kill malaria-carrying mosquitoes, to researching an RSV vaccine that could save hundreds of thousands of children. For every problem, there are people who prove that progress is possible. The Gates Foundation, partners of human potential. Learn more at gatesfoundation.org/keep going.
Access to the internet is vital for any country to grow. That's why the recent 6.75 billion rand digital infrastructure deal that Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking facilitated between Telkom and an Actis-led consortium is so transformational for South Africa. It unlocks growth and provides internet access to underserved communities who will now have access to the internet for the very first time. Search CIB Stories of Impact to watch the full story.
Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
So Taryn, you've just graduated cum laude, but nothing says you're a genius quite like selling your car to WeBuyCars.
Absolutely. My car was an 18th birthday present and it's time to move on to something a bit more mature.
So where did you hear about WeBuyCars?
All of my friends are using WeBuyCars. I would have had legit FOMO if I hadn't used them. And it was so quick. I did it on my laptop while sending around my CV.
Smart move, Taryn. Graduated and upgraded. WeBuyCars. Geared for success. Geared for you.
702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
Bongani, shares here from Centurion. Yes, word for the year. Wow, you've just made my day. So I have a friend who says at the beginning of the year, she never does New Year's resolutions, but a word comes to her. And I meditated on this word, and my word was declutter. And I didn't declutter. But 3 weeks ago, I did a major declutter. And now I'm just thinking, my word for this year is declutter. And it happened. Yes, I'm on track.
What's your word for 2025? In a single word, describe the year that you've had so far. It's the 3rd of November, so it's not yet over. It's not yet over, but as you look back on the last 11 months or so, are you happy? Are you sad? Are you just meh? Let us know.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
25 minutes after 6 o'clock, things you need to know at this hour. Well, drama at the National Student Financial Aid Scheme. The board chairperson, Dr. Karen Stander, has thrown in the towel, and she's not doing so quietly. In a fiery resignation letter to the Higher Education Minister, Buti Manamela, Stander says she's done dealing with what she calls a toxic work environment with racism, bullying, intimidation, and even personal threats. You remember, of course, she took the hot seat earlier this year under the then Minister, Nobuhle Nkabane. She now says she simply couldn't, in good conscience, continue leading NSFAS under such conditions. Things are expected to heat up at the Madlanga Commission today. More police officers involved in the arrest of suspected crime leader Katiso Katie Molefe are due to testify. You may remember witness C did so just last week. US President Donald Trump stirring the pot yet again. He's ordered his military to prepare for action against Nigeria because he says that government is failing to protect Christians who are being killed by Islamist militant groups. On a social media post on Saturday, Trump warned that the United States would not only cut off all aid to Nigeria, but he also said he may act against Abuja, which is a very, very interesting development. Sticking with the US, their commercial broadcast television and radio network CBS News has parted ways with the veteran South African journalist Deborah Patter after sparks flew during her interview with the US ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee. Say what you like about South Africa, right? People like Deborah Patter, who've been doing this kind of work for a very long time, don't get fired because you asked uncomfortable questions to the ambassador. It was a tense exchange that's now turned into a full-blown controversy, Huckabee accusing Patter and CBS of twisting his words about the Gaza conflict through what he's calling creative editing. And taking to X, Huckabee fired off a pointed post asking, "Ever wonder how the media edits an interview to give you a different story than the one they had?" And that led to the axe falling. My goodness, it's still difficult to accept, is it not? The legendary queen of Afropop, born on this day in 1964, Brenda Nokuzola Fassie. She would only have been 61 years old today. Vulindlela, Too Late for Mama, Weekend Special. So many hits. And which one have you chosen, KG? Zulu. Do you know the song? Of all the songs, are you also having an Amo moment?
No.
Where Amo doesn't know the song.
Just a demo before she became famous.
You know what the scary thing is? Brenda Fassie was only 39 years old when she died, eh? 39. Can you believe it? Yeah? Wow, KG.
702.
The newspapers.
We're letting Brenda down this morning.
Indeed.
We have to redeem ourselves.
As you recover from that, let me tell you what's on the front pages of the local newspapers. The Sowetan, this manhunt after 6 people were shot dead in Recher Park. That's a story on page 1 of the Sowetan. Their front cover, of course, is the World Cup heartbreak for the Proteas, and toxic fumes choke Joburg suburbs. The Citizen, come clean on Mkhunu. Cyril asks the Citizen, and they're crediting that quote from the former ANC Treasurer General Matthews Phosa, who says, wait a minute. You can't tell us the president didn't know about the disbanding of that political killings task team, and you certainly can't tell us he didn't know what it was doing or not doing. So is the blame only at Mkhunu's door? That's a big question. And the Business Day, Stats SA, cash crisis threatening credibility. We are warned. Now, you like to look at international papers.
That's right, Bongani. Well, this is a story that's been dominating the headlines over the weekend about a a knife attack that happened in the UK. Most of the publications are focusing on this heroic man who is a rail worker who tried to stop a knife attacker as he carried out a mass stabbing on a high-speed train. And unfortunately, the worker remains in a life-threatening condition in hospital. So this man boarded a train and started randomly attacking people on that high-speed train, but that worker tried to stop him. That's what resulted to his arrest when police were called.
Goodness me, those are the newspapers.
EWN Business.
You complain or let things slide. The effort that goes into complaining. How do you deal with bad service? Does complaining help? What prompts those questions, Matteo?
Bongani, 3,543 complainants saw their efforts pay off over the past financial year. The Office of the Ombudsman for Financial Service Providers put a whopping 31.7 million rand back in the pockets of consumers. The Ombudsman's main objective is to investigate and resolve complaints in terms of the Financial Services Act and rules. An award was made in 41% of the closed cases, including premature complaints, and 31.7 million are paid out to consumers. Now, in one case detailed by the Citizen, one consumer went through a reckless case of identity theft, where a scammer opened a unit trust investment in the consumer's name with a financial service provider. Now, that customer, of course, saw monthly debit orders come off the investment were deducted from the consumer's bank account without his consent or knowledge. In addition, the service provider paid out funds from the investment account to the scammer. Obviously, they then complained, but the service provider had claimed that they did their due diligence but couldn't provide the evidence, which made them, of course, lose the case, and the consumer was paid out. Now, during the period, the Ombudsman for Financial Service Providers increased claim jurisdictions from 800,000 rand to 3.5 million. So efforts to complain now sometimes pay off, so you might want to look into that. But the office no longer accepts complaints against unregistered financial service providers, so it's still your responsibility to make sure you're dealing with a legit provider.
Goodness me, where's the rand?
17 rand 31 cents against the US dollar. That's how it starts the week on a good note. 19 rand 96 cents against the euro, and 22 rand 74 cents against the British pound. Price of gold exactly $4,009 an ounce, while platinum is up 2% at $1,594. Brent crude at $64.94 a barrel. More business after 7.
Straight to the news desk we go now. Up next, a conversation about what's unfolding in Sudan. And Swiso Zulu, it's still hawkers versus the city.
That's right, Bongani. Good morning. The legal battle between the city of Joburg and the hawkers over trading rights is set to continue in court this morning. Last week, the Socio-Economic Rights Institute of South Africa dragged the city to court to challenge the removal of informal traders in the Johannesburg CBD. Siri, which is representing the informal traders, has argued that the removals are in violation of the hawkers' rights to trade. But the city says the removal of informal traders operating in undesignated areas and without municipal approval is part of efforts to clean up the inner city. Joburg Mayor Dada Morero says unregulated trading activities have contributed to escalating lawlessness.
Our project is not against anyone. We are implementing the bylaws of the city to ensure that whoever is in the city trades in the right spaces as regulated, and they take care of the environment.
Meanwhile, in Cape Town, an informal trader who has been selling at Goodwood Mall for more than 40 years says he's not ready to give up his family's legacy. Hanif Kamar has been without work for 10 days after the City of Cape Town law enforcement officers confiscated his goods on Friday. Kamar says more than 10,000 rand of his stock was taken, and after not earning money for more than a week, he has not been able to feed his family. Carlo Peterson reports.
41-year-old Hanif Kamar left school in grade 7 to work with his father as an informal trader. Kamar says he was in the process of renewing his trading license when the city's law enforcement officers confiscated his goods on Friday the 24th of October.
I wasn't there when it happened. When I came back, it was too late. My goods were already loaded on the truck, and it was about 10,000 rands worth of stock.
City law enforcement spokesperson Wayne Dyson says informal traders in the area were warned to renew their permits on the 10th of October. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
Former President Thabo Mbeki has called for an overhaul of the process to elect the country's president. Mbeki delivered the keynote address in the Eastern Cape over the weekend, where the Nelson Mandela University hosted the launch of the National Dialogue Initiative. South African voters don't directly vote for the president at the general elections, but elects for political parties to fill 400 seats at the National Assembly. The president is then voted in by a majority of MPs at the National Assembly, but Mbeki says this doesn't take into account some serious skills.
Because we must make sure that this person who becomes president must be competent to carry out all of these tasks which were detailed in that constitutional court decision. When Parliament said I must become president, they had not the slightest clue what I was capable of doing. And they never asked.
Mbeki says the national dialogue must grapple with this, among other issues on the agenda.
One of the things they must say in the national dialogue, the intelligentsia, we have to change the manner in which we choose our president.
And China has expelled 2 former senior government officials from the Communist Party for serious violations of discipline and law. The actions targeted the former vice chairman of the China Securities Regulatory Commission and the former vice director of the National Development and Reform Commission. The country's top anti-graft watchdog says both men were suspended of accepting bribes, with their cases described as serious in nature. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng, with showers expected today. The temperatures are at lows of 13 and 15 degrees, peaking at highs between 21 and 22.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident reported on the M1 South. This is right near Smith Street. It's causing delays. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the N12 East, we've got an accident in Eldorado Park. It's right near the Golden Highway, also causing delays.
Top story this hour: the legal battle between the city of Joburg and hawkers over trading rights is set to continue in court this morning.
Part of the 702 family.
My name is Sidi from Sunnyside, Pretoria. I listen to 702 quite a number of times. It's quite an informative radio station. A lot of expert and expertise in terms of knowledge and information. And if you don't listen to 702, you are lost.
Welcome to our 702 family. Let's walk the talk.
It's amazing what help can do. Help can take you from smart money moves to smart gadgets and household must-haves. With an FNB Premier Credit or Fusion card, get up to 40% back in e-bucks on devices and appliances. Open any FNB Premier account today, celebrating 25 years of helping you live the Premier life. FNB, help changes everything. TC's earn rules apply while stocks last. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
Betway is taking you to dizzying new heights in one of the world's most popular games, Aviator. Place your bets and watch the multiplier climb higher and higher. Pick the right time to cash out and stand to win millions on a single bet. It's all possible from the palm of your hand. Get way more only at Betway. Betway is licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. South African Responsible Gambling Program toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Winners know when to stop.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani and the team. For me, I would like to say this has been a challenging one. I had a goal to clear up my debts, just try to be debt free, to pay up everything. I had a plan, strategy. But then because being a breadwinner and being the only person working alone at home, it must be difficult. I can say I failed on that one because everything needs money and everyone is looking up to you and how you try to do things for yourself, for others, but then I couldn't achieve the goal. But then they say, never give up until it's done. So I'm still trying to continue with my goal. But then I will say, in terms of everything in general, not so bad. but I'm trying to achieve my goals here. But then, it's been difficult.
Yeah, we're taking your calls and your WhatsApp voice notes. It's the 3rd of November. What have you done with your 2025? I feel like this has been a year of humility and growth and reflection for me. We're toning down the ego just a little bit. I mean, I am a talk show host. That might be harder to do than you imagined. Cindy Paluta, you've just popped by this year.
Yeah, I can imagine that it would be hard as a talk show host to manage ego, because you're always being asked for your opinion, and your job is to give your opinion.
Yes.
So when you're out and about, it's hard to not give your opinion
Yes.
because it's naturally what you do, right?
Yes. But also, I ask questions for a living.
Yes.
And so I'm often in social situations where people say, oh, don't interview me. I'm not. I'm just, I do what I do because of who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not who I am because of what I do. But at times, you've also got to learn that I don't need to be heard everywhere I go.
Yeah. And you know what? You touched on such a great word there. You touched on growth. And I think this year for me has also been a big year of growth. And when people think growth, they think career. Straight away, you think career. But it could be other things. So apart from almost completing my life coaching course, which I never imagined would happen.
That's fantastic.
But I'm getting there. I'm so excited to be
yes.
coaching you all next year. Not on the sports field. But just I think it's growth in terms of boundaries. I've realized this year, if anything, has taught me what I do and don't stand for. It's highlighted my values in terms of I'm not that type of person. I'm this type of person. And I've learned to actually speak up for myself a bit better. So instead of always, I think I was raised in a way to always put others first, which isn't a bad thing, but you end up putting others first because you can't say no to everything or you feel bad. And I've realized this year that there are people who walk around not feeling bad to say no to things that don't mutually work for both people. And I'm like, I think that's the growth that I've had this year.
Fantastic stuff. It's the 3rd of November. As you reflect on this year, was it a good one? Was it a bad one? Was it just one of those, let us know.
EWN Sport.
So, Cindy Paluta, we spoke on Friday about the potential result of the Cricket World Cup. And I think it's a fair one. I think it's a credible one. I think our Proteas women can come home with their heads held up high.
Absolutely. I think anybody would rather take a runners-up medal than outside of the top 4, especially given that we beat Australia.
England, yes.
Not blank. Especially that we beat England, and we did so well.
Yeah.
We did so well. So I think we really, 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 they deserve the hero's welcome.
Yeah.
Even though they are not the world champions, but also a great one for India. It's the first time in 25 years there's a different winner at the ODI Women's Cricket World Cup. I thought that was fantastic.
It's not Australia.
I saw Sachin Tendulkar in the crowd watching them. I saw some of the greats. He actually welcomed them onto the pitch. It was really, really beautiful. And nothing is better than a home team winning.
Yeah.
Except if they're Australia. But nothing's better. Or England. Or New Zealand.
Catches win matches. We dropped a few.
I
thought that run out with Bosch was unfortunate.
On Twitter, a lot of people asked me about the toss because we won the toss and we sent India into bat. And I remember there was a very long match, rain delay at the start, and that affected the toss. And everybody's saying that, and you could see it in the comment section on Cricket Info, people saying the right thing to do is bowl first. And we did. It just didn't play in our favour.
Yeah.
Some
days it's just not your day.
Well done to them. India, the women's ODI world champions. They beat the Proteas by 52 runs. Verma made 87. India posted 298 for 7. Sharma then took 5 wickets to have South Africa all out for 246. Captain Laura Wolfhard made a valiant 101 and is now the leading run scorer in a single edition of any ODI World Cup and the second highest World Cup run scorer overall.
I thought we were in the chase for a very long time. I think we were pretty neck and neck with them when they showed the updates on the scoreboard. I thought me and Dirkson's partnership was pretty big. I thought we were going to take it through to the end. But then she just got out right as we were trying to sort of launch into the back 10. And then I went out too soon after. And I still thought Chloe and Nate could do it together. I think we left Nadine a little bit too much to do by herself.
Springboks won't have Oxenchair for the rest of the year. He was injured in their 61 thrashing of Japan. Asanati Ntlebakanya has been called up. Coach Rassi Rasmus.
Unfortunately, in the tackle situation, I think it is ankle and his knee, so he's on crutches. Probably planning to replace him. We've got obviously Buan and Gerard. I thought also played really well, and then Thomas is back, and then we have Wilco and Zach. But if another loose head goes down in the week, then we're a bit in trouble. So we'll think Asanati will come in, but his name Thomas will probably just swing between tight head and loose head for us.
The Bucks face France on Saturday night at 10:10. Manchester City beat Bournemouth 3-1 with 2 Holland goals to move into second in the Premier League, 6 points behind the leaders Arsenal. Boss Pep Guardiola.
Well, hopefully Arsenal can concede 1 goal one day, right? It's not easy for them, but I said, especially I had the feeling since I woke up that we were, in that moment. But yeah, it's just 10 games, still 28 to play, many things going to happen. Important is to be close and feel that the team is better and better. That is the point.
Newcastle lost to West Ham 3-1. Bottom of the table, Wolves have sacked boss Vitor Pereira after their 3-0 defeat at Fulham. In the Betway Premiership yesterday, Golden Arrows thrashed Moromogoland 4-0 with 2 goals from Khumalo. TS Galaxy got a first win over Stellenbosch in 3 years, 2-0. In tennis, Yannick Sinner won the ATP Paris Masters title, beating Auger Sim 6-4, 7-6. And at the WTA Finals, the defending champion Coco Gauff is out. She was beaten by Jessica Pegula 6-3, 6-7, 6-2, while Sabalenka beat Paulini in straight set 6-3 and 6-1. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
PSG Asset Management sees opportunities others have missed. Like that stock, once up, now down. We thought good price and started our in-depth research there. Turns out it was a quality undervalued company working hard to restore market confidence to deliver soaring returns when they did. Because for us, a good price is just the beginning. To partner with us, contact your financial advisor or visit psg.co.za. PSG Asset Management Pty Limited is an authorized financial services provider and part of PSG Financial Services Group, a licensed controlling company.
Hi, this is Alia Itzebet, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. A reminder that you can still shoot for the stars while playing responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counselling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Morning, my name is Lisedi. I am 12 years old. I am in grade 7. I attend school at Saudi Primary School. When I grow up, I want to be a doctor, and I'm excited to play the Whiz Quiz with Uncle Bongani.
Dr. Lisedi, can you walk away with 10,000 Rand?
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
Let's catch up on the roads. It's 13 to 7. That N12 East crash, Amo, is it a bad one?
It's a horrible one, Bongani, in the Eldorado Park area, causing about a 20-minute hold-up coming out of Klipspread Valley Road. And then you will be met with more traffic volumes at the N1 North between the N12 and the Diepkloof interchange. This is now due to peak time delays along this route. So altogether, you can expect about a 30-minute hold-up towards the city of Joburg. And once you get onto the Mike 1 North, do expect heavier traffic volumes between Boyson's Road and Carr Street. I'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
It's time to hit the streets and show what you're made of. The Discovery Vitality Chicken Run, flavored by Nando's, is on Saturday, 8 November at 5 p.m. It's pure magic, reimagined, revitalized through Josie My Josie. There's 5K for fun, 10K for the bragging rights. Getting there is very easy. Via the Gautrain to Park Station, then a free Prasa train to Ellis Park. Less up, show up and enter now at racepass.com.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for general practitioners, dentists, surgeons, and other medical specialists. Kuveni.
It's so nice to know the business risk is taken care of by Business Outsurance. The call center is just a dream to deal with. Very seamless, easy experience, and it just feels like the people we're talking to on the other line understand our needs.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Morning, Bonds, the team. Regarding your relationships, if my partner has a male friend, I would expect her to have the intellectual capacity to think for herself that me having a male friend while I have a partner, it's not ideal. And then distance herself or limit the communication or whatever. But if I have to tell her, I know, because the problem is that I tell her that I don't like a certain individual, and then she tells that guy that, hey, my man says you and I should keep our distance or not. That guy might even start pursuing her on purpose just because I see him as a threat. So now it will start becoming a murky situation. So yeah, no, the lady must distance herself from that guy automatically.
You manage your people, right? You manage your people. Don't bring me into it. That was Mateo's position. We'll explain why we're asking this question, though, coming up.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Give away some cash, shall we? Today we're playing with 12-year-old Lisedi from Forest Hill, who wants to be a doctor later in life. Lisedi, you know how the Whiz Quiz goes. We have 10 questions. I need 10 correct answers in 60 seconds to give you 10,000 Rand. Otherwise, it's $100 for each correct answer. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
KG, start the clock. What is the second last letter of the alphabet?
B.
It's Y. In the movies, what is Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story? An astronaut or a cowboy?
An astronaut.
Correct. In which province is the Tshwane Metro Municipality?
Gauteng.
Correct. True or false? A banjo is a string instrument.
Pass.
It's true. To which clothing size does the letter S refer?
Pass.
Small. True or false? The Empire State Building is in Cape Town.
True.
It's false. What is 10 times 10?
100.
Correct. And that's all the time we have for you there. Bit of a rough one there for you, Lisedi. You walk away with only 3 correct answers, and that means 300 Rand. If you're age 10 to 12 and you reckon you can ace the Whiz Quiz, send us a WhatsApp voice note, and we could be calling you.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? And it's brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand is up for grabs. So first we give you 1,000 Rand for an answer. WhatsApp us your name and that answer to 072 702 1702. It could be on any random fact you've heard on the show. Then someone will frame a question to get to your answer, and they will win 2,000 Rand. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on your car insurance.
Current events, developing stories,
tough questions.
Your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
7 minutes before 7 o'clock. On the sheer scale of it, the numbers of the dead, the displaced, no other conflict around the world comes close to the catastrophe in Sudan right now. Not Ukraine, not even Gaza. More than 150,000 people killed, 12 million displaced. So our next guest asks the question, why are leaders on this continent silent? Why do we speak loudly on conflicts elsewhere and yet remain quiet when Africans kill Africans? Why is South Africa in particular not saying very much about the horrors? We've invited former editor of the City Press and Sunday Times, veteran journalist and editor Matata Tsedu to join us. He wrote a searing piece in the Sunday Times yesterday about exactly this, and he joins us now on the line. A very good morning to you, and thank you for your time.
Morning, Bongani. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, and delighted, absolutely delighted that you're talking to us. Particularly, of course, about this piece you wrote.
I don't know why you would be delighted.
Particularly about your piece from yesterday. I mean, it's not a delightful subject, to be clear. Firstly, just because perhaps our listeners may not always be updated with all of that's unfolding, how horrific is what is unfolding in Sudan? Why is this something that deserves all of our attention?
Well, I think it's important to even just try and trace a bit of the history. Sudan has been ruled by an Islamist regime under al-Bashir for some time until he was deposed in 2019. and they had imposed Sharia law. But not everybody who lives in Sudan is a Muslim. So the people who are found in the western, southern part of Sudan, in the Darfur region, and in South Sudan, which is now a separate country, were resisting this whole idea of living under Sharia law. So in 2003, there was a big rebellion in the Darfur region, and a group called the Janjaweed, which translates into armed men on horseback, which was a militia formed by al-Bashir, terrorized the people in that area, killed a lot of people. Women were raped, young men were gang-pressed into becoming part of the Janjaweed. And it was the atrocities that happened during that time that led to al-Bashir having a warrant of arrest issued by the International Criminal Court in The Hague, that he should be arrested for human rights violation and genocide. And it was that warrant of arrest that was about to be effected when he was here in this country for an AU meeting. Then he had to be sneaked out. I'm just bringing local issues.
It's very important because, I remember there was a lot of international attention to Darfur in the years 2005, 2006, and it's been one of those difficult ones to answer, and hence your piece resonated so well with me. I've always found it difficult. You've mentioned religion as one of the reasons for the conflict, but race is also very much a part of it. And the people in Darfur and South Sudan, you could argue, as black Africans, if you will, were being murdered.
They are non-Arabic.
Yes, precisely. And so race is a part of it, and it's always been extraordinary to me, that moment of not arresting Omar al-Bashir, but also the silence of the AU and the silence of leaders on the continent. And as you say, this has been, the seeds of this began more than almost 25 years ago.
Yes. And this Janjaweed militia that was terrorizing the people in Darfur is what is today known as the Rapid Support Forces of Mohamed Dagalo, that is responsible now for the latest round of mass killings in Darfur and the takeover of the capital of Darfur, El Fasher, on Sunday last week. So that's the context that is very important. And since this whole war started in 2023 now, when Dagalo and the head of the Sudan Armed Forces, Abdel Burhan, differed on the timetable for the incorporation of the RSF into the Sudanese army. And then they went into war in April 2023. 150,000 people have been killed and over 12 million people are displaced. Many of those are in exile in different countries. I know journalists who tried to hold out in Khartoum, but eventually I know one of them, a very close friend, we worked together in the African Editors Forum, Dura. She did 72 hours on a bus, sick to death, and ended up in Egypt. So there's a lot of suffering that is happening in that conflict. But what has now been happening in El Fasher, it's really horrible. The pictures that have come out of there, there's one that really haunts me, of a mother of two hanged on a tree with both her children hanging by her. It's really terrible. And what I was trying to say in the piece in the Sunday Times yesterday was to say what else needs to happen for a country like ours that takes the trouble to go to The Hague, taking Israel, and rightly so, for the genocide that is happening against the Palestinians, for Mr. Ramaphosa as our president to stand up and say, you can't do that in our name as Africans. What does it need to happen to take for the AU to hold a meeting and say this cannot happen? Where is the rapid deployment force that the AU said it was creating, that was supposed to intervene in situations like this? We make all these resolutions, but when it comes down to where the rubber hits the tar, nothing happens. And that is really the point I was trying to make yesterday.
And you made it really well, and you've outlined the context for it this morning. Appreciate your time. Matata Tsedu, veteran journalist and editor, speaking to us about the catastrophe and really the disaster that is Sudan at the moment, and asking those very pertinent questions. I'm reminded of that movie, Hotel Rwanda, where the character played by Don Cheadle is told by the one played by Nick Nolte, who says, the reason the world doesn't care, he says, you're not even an N-word, you're just an African. And maybe that's why we are here on this matter. Up next, we bring you an exclusive interview with Mr. T. We don't know what Babita Deokaran would say if she were still with us, because of course she was silenced by bullets. We don't know what Mpoma Fole, the auditor who tried to expose wrongdoing in Ekurhuleni, would say if he was here, because he was silenced with bullets. They tried the same with Mr. T. He survived. He's a corruption buster at Home Affairs, and he's given us an exclusive interview. You can check all of it out, by the way, in its entirety on Eyewitness News. We'll play you some of it coming up.
This is EWN.
Home Affairs punishes some officials for wrongdoing. A whistleblower reveals all. And police have launched a manhunt following a drive-by mass shooting in Reiger Park. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The Home Affairs Department says it has taken disciplinary action against several of its employees implicated in corruption, flagged by a whistleblower. Mr. T, who was named by former Home Affairs Minister Aaron Motsoaledi as someone who blew the lid on major corruption at the Marabastad Home Affairs office in Pretoria, sat down with 702's Bongani Bingwa for an interview. Since speaking out, Mr. T has had 2 attempts on his life. While he has survived both assassination attempts, he lives in hiding with 4 bullets still in his body. Khomotso Modisa reports.
When former Home Affairs Minister Aaron Motsoaledi described Mr. T during a press briefing on corruption at the Tembisa Hospital, he likened him to Babita Deokaran, describing him as a diligent man who hates corruption. While Mr. T put his life on the line to fight corruption, he says some officials implicated in the rot in the department have gotten off with a slap on the wrist.
Then I identified the guy. Then the following day I called him to my office. Then he could not explain. He immediately said, well, I have a problem with cash.
Mr. T says because he pleaded guilty, the man was suspended for 3 months only to return to work, raising concern that he could possibly engage in corruption again. Home Affairs says a number of cases reported by Mr. T have been investigated and disciplinary action has been taken against implicated officials. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa will have a broader discussion with Mr. T just after this news bulletin. Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi says authorities will stop at nothing to hunt down the people behind the murder of 6 people in Reiger Park on the East Rand. It's understood gunmen in 2 vehicles randomly opened fire on Saturday night. 3 people, including a child, were also injured in the onslaught. Lesufi visited the community yesterday following a meeting with local police on what's believed to be gang-related crime in the area.
Justice must be served. Because we can't allow this to go.
Meanwhile, National Police Commissioner Fani Masimula says additional resources have been deployed in the hunt for suspects, including 2 known gangsters who are on the run.
We have a team, as I said, we're going to beef it up with a view to find the killers. So I can't say tomorrow they will be in or tonight they'll be in. But we are going to arrest them, and it's best not to say much because I might just give a message, you go and tell them.
In the capital, Mamelodi residents have threatened a shutdown in Pretoria today following the murder of two women. Cousins Baliseng and Siamo Muramaga were shot and left on the side of the road more than a week ago. They were laid to rest in their home province of Limpopo yesterday. Tebogo Mnisi, who is believed to be the boyfriend of one of the women, has been arrested. Civic Movement Soil of Africa wants Tshwane Mayor Nasipi Moya and the Premier to speak to the community about plans to deal with crime in the area. The organization's Bongani Ramoncha says they will bring the city to a standstill if their concerns are ignored.
We have Metro Police and SAPS, but they are nowhere to be seen in high-risk zones. Our children are dying and our women are being slaughtered, and gangsters are ruling the street. The silence from those in power is a betrayal for their own people.
Police officers involved in the high-profile arrest of alleged crime boss Katiso KT Molefe are expected to testify before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry today. Molefe was arrested by members of the Gauteng Counterintelligence Operations Unit and the Political Killings Task Team in connection with the murder of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart. Swart was shot in a case of mistaken identity 23 times outside of his company's premises in the south of Joburg in April last year. Singh reports.
In addition to being charged with the 2024 murder of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart, Katiso KT Molefe is also accused of having a hand in the 2022 murders of music producer Opa DJ Sambodi Sefoka and his two bodyguards, and businessman Hector DJ Vintos Buthelezi. Molefe is currently out on bail. He and several co-accused face charges of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and possession of unlicensed firearms and ammunition. Ballistic reports of the firearms used in the murder of Swart have linked the guns to at least 18 other serious criminal cases. Detectives from the investigating team in the Swart murder previously testified at the Madlanga Commission about alleged interference from the Hawks and Gauteng Traffic Police during Molefe's arrest almost a year ago. Singh, Eyewitness News.
And the death toll in Afghanistan has risen to 9 following a 6.3 magnitude earthquake. Authorities say the quake struck near Mazar al-Sharif, one of the country's largest cities, in the early hours of this morning. Mazar al-Sharif is home to more than 500,000 people. Many of the city's residents rushed to the streets when the quake struck as they feared their houses would collapse. Today's quake comes after a 6.0 magnitude earthquake struck Afghanistan's mountainous eastern region in late August, killing more than 1,000 people. Gold is trading at $4,011.41 an ounce. The rand is at 17.30 to the dollar, 22.74 to the pound, 19.96 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $65 exactly a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got a major accident on the N3 North that happened near Modderfontein Road. It is causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of the Geldenes interchange. Please be on the lookout there and expect about a 40-minute hold-up. If you're traveling on the N12 as well as the R24 West, you will be affected by these delays coming out of Edenville Road.
And in your sport, Captain Laura Wolfhard smashed the century, but the Proteas women still lost to India in the Cricket World Cup final. Manchester City shoot up to second in the Premier League with a 3-1 win over Bournemouth. Springboks have called up Asanati and Tlabakanya to replace the injured Oxen Chem. And Yannick Sinner back top of the world tennis rankings.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with isolated showers and thundershowers expected. Johannesburg is at a low of 14 degrees, peaking at 21. Pretoria 15 and 22. For the Vereniging 13 and 22 degrees as well. The top story in EW this hour. The Home Affairs Department says it has taken disciplinary action against several of its employees implicated in corruption that was flagged by a whistleblower, Mr. T.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
9 minutes after 7 o'clock, so much on the go at the moment. The Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana, set to present the medium-term budget policy statement later in the month. But with Stats SA facing a severe cash crunch that could compromise the quality of the critical data relied upon by government business and researchers. And perhaps there's no greater indication of the lack of seriousness than the fact that Stats SA finds itself in this cash crunch. I mean, the whole point of why we need Stats SA to have credible information is that that's what will inform accurate and official statistics on which decisions can be made and policies set. Without reliable data, well, everything becomes guesswork, right? How do we monitor and evaluate progress being made or not without reliable data? How do we know what the accurate count of the population might be, how people generally live in South Africa, and what service they can or cannot access? It is an absolute shame. And as I say, if you want to understand the lack of seriousness around proper governance, look no further than Stats SA set to be in a cash crunch.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
I want to take you now to the United States. Erica Kirk, the widow of slain Charlie Kirk, the right-wing activist, spoke at an event just last week honoring her late husband's legacy and introduced the current U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, calling him a dear friend who reminded her of her husband. And they shared a warm and emotional embrace as Vance was about to begin speaking, and it has set some tongues wagging. Have a listen.
No one will ever replace my husband, no. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do. And that's why I'm so blessed to be able to introduce him tonight, because he understands the fight that we're up against, and he can articulate that in a way that transcends race, that transcends demographic backgrounds. He's an amazing man. So please help me welcome to the stage Vice President J.D. Vance.
The warm embrace, as I say, has had tongues wagging on the internet, and that's why we were asking the question about friends of the opposite sex and the do's and don'ts in your relationship. But if, I suppose, an unsurprising one in a sense, veteran journalist Deborah Patter, whom, of course, you'll be familiar with from her work here in South Africa, has been a CBS News correspondent for a number of years, and they've axed her after a tough interview with the U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, in which she asked some tough questions about what's been going on in Gaza and the U.S. administration's response to it. Have a listen to what she explains about the number of people who've particularly been killed trying to access humanitarian aid in Gaza.
According to the UN, over 1,400 people have been killed trying to get food, mostly, they say, by IDF gunfire, nearly 900 near GHF sites.
She then confronts Mike Huckabee, the ambassador, about that information, and of course, predictably, he rejected the genocide suggestion.
Increasingly strong language is being used about Israel's prosecution of this war, including from Israeli organizations. They've been accused of genocide.
If Israel is attempting genocide, they're really bad at it. They could have had genocide on October the 8th. If they were trying to commit genocide, it would not have taken them 22 months to do it.
Imagine that as a response. She put it out there, and he said it was creative editing. And for that, she's been fired.
702. Up next.
The big interview.
EWN.
13 after 7. This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Heavy delays around the N3 North. Amo, tell us why.
That's correct, Bongani. Due to a major accident seen near Modderfontein Road, it's causing about a 30-minute hold-up coming out of the Geldenhuys interchange. As a result, if you're heading towards areas like Alexandra or even Sandton, do expect about a 40-minute hold-up, because you'll also be met by roadworks taking place right near the crew turn off. And traveling on the N12 as well as the R24 West, traffic remains heavily backed up as a result of this scene on the N3 North. Delays from Edenville Road towards the Gilulis interchange. And then heading towards Kempton Park, there's been an accident on the R21 South. It's right near Olifantsfontein Road. It's causing about a 20-minute hold-up coming out of Nalmay Pierce Drive. Do expect heavy traffic volumes also as you approach Olifantsfontein Road turn off due to roadworks. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Outsurance Pointsman can't help your child with their algebra homework, but they can ease traffic congestion so you can get home in time to help your kid figure out why x equals 7. The Outsurance Pointsmen have been on the roads for the past 20 years, and we can all get where we need to safely and quickly. Outsurance really means it when they say you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
You remember the names Babita Diokoran, Mpho Mafole, brave whistleblowers, auditors who uncovered wrongdoing at different institutions, Ekurhuleni and Tembisa Hospital, and they paid the ultimate price with their lives. But what about those who do survive, who must keep running? Bullets tore through his lungs, through his bones, still lodged in his body as we speak. We met Mr. T, a long-time anti-corruption crusader at the Department of Home Affairs, at a secret location. I came with a team from Eyewitness News and from 702 Breakfast. He's in hiding because there have been attempts on his life. He was one of those who exposed corruption at Home Affairs, refused to take bribes, but more importantly, refused to look away as some of his colleagues did. And the syndicates are still after him. Has seen the rot up close, talking about porous borders, stolen IDs handed over to foreign nationals. He has seen it up close, and he says the system is broken, but he thinks it's still worth saving. We met him at a secret location. As I say, the full interview is up on Eyewitness News, but have a listen to some of our exchange.
I observed through my side mirror. I saw them standing. They moved to my window, the first hitman.
Yeah.
Then when I saw him pulling a gun and going for a trigger, then I moved my body armrest. Then as I was lifting my arm like this, which was not something that I planned to do, then he started shooting me below here. The bullets went through my right and left lung and through my liver and removed, there's a small part on the liver called a spleen. And the one who was shooting from the rear passenger window shot through the seat, and the bullet hit my backbone and got lodged into the backbone. I think it did not touch the spinal cord, and it's still sitting there. That is the first attempted murder.
Babita Diokoran exposed corruption at Tembisa Hospital. Mpho Mafole was an auditor who uncovered more than R1 billion in tender irregularities in the city of Ekurhuleni. They paid with their lives for shining a spotlight on wrongdoing, murdered in cold blood. We don't know what they would say if they were alive today, but someone who has an idea is Mr. T, a longtime crusader against corruption at Home Affairs. See, they tried to kill him too.
When I arrived there was corruption, and I refused to join. People were selling services that was meant to be free. You had to pay an administration fee, and you had to also pay a drink for the official.
To do their job?
To do their job
Mr. T, we've been told about all kinds of efforts to clean up the Department of Home Affairs. Have any of those yielded results, or is it as bad as it ever was?
Somebody maybe will say yes. I am saying no.
When you sat as a manager in some of the disciplinary matters, what were some of the worst examples of corruption you saw?
Stealing somebody's identity. When you register your child, the same ID number that will be allocated by the system on the day of registration is the same ID number that that child will carry as an adult. They steal that ID numbers. And an adult from Pakistan or Bangladesh comes and apply for an identity document and is given that child's number is stolen. That child's number is stolen. Is given to Bongani Bingwa, a big man and adult. Is processed.
Even though it might say, it might start with...
Yeah, it's a child. It's processed. Then 2 days down the line, you come and do what they call rectification of particulars, including date of birth.
So it becomes like it was a clerical error.
It was a clerical error. It was a clerical, it's rectified. Then you keep that.
Is this at an individual level? How organized is it?
It is an organized crime. The first time I picked that there was something happening, I was managing a satellite office on the showground, Pretoria showground there. I found 3 file covers with barcodes and file numbers. Then I picked them on a desk. I opened, they were empty. I found that there were 2 statuses for each file. That is, there was a rejection and an approval. And the first one was a rejection as unfounded. Then it was later approved. Then I checked who had performed those fraudulent activities. Then I identified the guy. Then he could not explain. He immediately said, well, I have a problem with cash. I need petty cash.
He admitted.
Yeah, admitted. I can't put petrol. I can't do this. I can't survive on my salary. So I have this pressure to make sure that I do what you have just picked.
He got fired, didn't he?
No, he was given, because he pleaded guilty, he was given 3 months suspension without a salary.
And back on the job.
And back on the job to do the same thing.
Was that disheartening for you?
It was quite disheartening.
The corrupt officials decided to fight back.
These 3 boys ran towards the car. They came running from behind the other house. Then I locked the doors. I watched them through the side mirror. I don't know what they were waiting for, but they waited for quite a few minutes. Probably they were hoping that I was going to jump out. Then I saw the first one pulling up a T-shirt, and he pulled out I don't know whether it was 9mm, it was a revolver, I did not even know the categories of those weapons. And all of them did the same. Then I realized it was bad. They had come to take me out. I watched he moved to my door, the first one, to the driver's door. And I saw him moving his finger to pull the trigger. Then I fell on the arm's rest. After a moment or two, then I heard that sound. And all the bullets that this first one shot went through here, through both my lungs and through my liver. The other one who was standing on the other window, the rear passenger's window, shot through my seat from the back and shot through the spinal bone. The bullet is still there.
Mr. T had survived, but with bullets still lodged in his body, he decided to continue the fight.
I reported them to counter-corruption. We charged them. I testified against them.
You knew who had done it. You knew who was behind it.
Those were my subordinates. I was managing them. I was supervising them.
How many officials are we talking about?
Today we are talking about more than 40.
Tell me about the second attempt.
The second attempt happened last year, 27 January. I had already retired. I'm a retired person now.
Where did they shoot you this time?
Yeah, it hit me here.
On the shoulder?
Yeah, and it went here, hit the collarbone and broke it. And apparently changed the direction, went down. Still inside my chest here.
So as you sit here, you are full of bullets?
Yeah, I have 4.
You had already retired. Why were they coming after you now?
Apparently, I got to know that during that period, after the shooting, because I went to the hospital immediately, there were people who were looking for me. My children told me from Home Affairs, I had to finish those cases. And there was going to be a hearing. That was on Saturday. On Monday, there was going to be a hearing for somebody. In that hearing, I was going to be a witness.
What's happened to that case now?
Oh, it proceeded. It proceeded. I don't know the outcome yet. Nobody has told me what happened.
Were you ever eventually called to be a witness?
Yeah, eventually I testified.
You are in hiding still?
Yeah.
Are you still in fear for your life?
I'm not afraid to die, but to be killed is not a nice thing. I'm the only remaining parent. So that's what is not nice about it. But I know, as you do, that you and me are going to die someday.
But not like this.
Not like this. We don't. No one wants to be killed.
Mr. T, has all of this been worth it?
I believe so. No one wants a corrupt South Africa, except corrupt people. Because a corrupt South Africa is a dysfunctional South Africa. It can't work. That is why today I can openly say that we are living in a dysfunctional country because of corruption. It doesn't matter how small it is.
How do you think we can better protect people like you, whistleblowers, people who stand up against this corruption?
There should be a change in the legislative framework that deals with protection of whistleblowers. Because from what I've heard from those who have been protected and what I know, when they protect them by isolation. They still live somewhere away from the public. They change their normal day-to-day life that they would do. The moment they finish testifying, then they released them, and they are still exposed.
So once you testify, you're on your own?
You are on your own. That's what I know. You are on your own.
What happens now? Are you going to spend the rest of your life in hiding like this?
Well, one day I'm going to walk into the street. Whether they finish me, I don't think I am worried about that. But at least it is now known I refused to let corruption reign. This is my contribution. Whether we are going to win anytime soon, well, but somebody will stand on my grave, my children, and say, Daddy tried.
Daddy tried. How powerful was that interview? Home Affairs have responded to questions about Mr. T's allegations to us, and they say they know he was a Home Affairs employee and that he reported numerous cases of wrongdoing to the department's counter-corruption unit, and those cases were investigated. Disciplinary action was taken against the implicated officials. The department has a whistleblowing policy in place and also relies on the support of other law enforcement agencies. As I say, you can catch more of that interview on ewn.co.za. You can also go to the Prime Media Plus app to watch all of it. We spoke to him, of course, as I say, he's in hiding, so his identity is obscured because there's still a contract on his life.
EWN Business.
Get to business updates now. Muteo Kharipe, Aspen bagging 500 million rand in a settlement. Tell me about this contractual dispute.
And it seems that 500 million will not be enough because they've suffered some pain because of this particular contract. Our pharmaceutical company Aspen Pharmacare has reached a settlement with an offshore client in the US over a contract dispute related to the production of mRNA drugs. The dispute relates to a manufacturing and technology agreement for mRNA products with a contract manufacturing customer in the US that just didn't work out. Now, the dispute has been resolved with the client agreeing to pay Aspen R500 million before the 1st of December 2025. Aspen will receive approximately 500 million rand in full and a final settlement for the dispute. Now, when the pharmaceutical company first announced the fallout earlier this year with the unnamed US firm, it wiped off 2.7 billion rand from its bottom line and saw its share value go down by 22 billion rand. The settlement on Friday saw its shares go up by 3%. They're now trading at 98 rand a share.
Goodness me. Vodacom expecting better results?
Yeah, the telecoms giant expects both the headline and basics earnings per share, a profit measure in South Africa, to go up by between 40 and 45%. The results are consistent with the company's plans. They have a Vision 2030 plan to have double-digit growth by 2030. The company attributes the growth to favorable movements, including the lapping of a prior year one-off impact related to the Democratic Republic of Congo and also their market in Ethiopia.
Where's the rand?
Rand at this hour, 17 Rand 31 against the US dollar. Strong start to this Monday morning, 19 Rand 96 against the euro and 22 Rand 75 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,007 an ounce, while platinum is up more than 2% at $1,594. Brent crude now at $64.97 a barrel. More business after 8.
Go to Eyewitness News now. Sfisa Zulu, you've got the latest on Papa.
That's right, Bongani. Good morning. Wanted fugitive and Malawian pastor Shepherd Bushiri has accused senior South African police and Hawks officials of alleged extortions. He says they demanded a multi-million rand bribe to let him stay in the country unlawfully before later fleeing to Malawi while on bail. Bushiri is facing charges of fraud, money laundering and rape. The accusations against the police come as the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry continues to hear testimony about alleged interference and corruption in the South African justice system. In a live broadcast during a Friday night service at his Enlightened Christian Gatherings church, Bushiri claimed he was asked to pay a protection fee in 2016.
I remember some of my team members going to have a meeting with this fellow general, known as General Sibia. So much money was collected in the name of this general to stop this case, instead of the general to stop the case. So it was corruption after another corruption. Problem, you go to the authorities, they also are demanding for something, to end something.
The SACP has taken another thinly veiled swipe at the ANC, accusing the party of bowing to political pressure of some partners in the GNU, continuing to sideline its old allies. The SACP held its Red October rally in Klerksdorp in the northwest yesterday. Secretary Solly Mapaila addressed party members on a range of issues, including reaffirming a decision to run against its tripartite alliance partner, the ANC, at next year's local government elections. The SACP says its decision was largely due to the ANC refusing to reconfigure the alliance's terms to include more consensus in decision-making. Mapaila still insists this doesn't spell the end of the alliance, which is more than 3 decades old.
We gave too much trust. So much that today we don't even have leverage for the ANC to change its positions. Some unknown parties recently established, they can control and direct the ANC. Tina, our leverage is the trust we have on the ANC. And when the ANC betrays this trust, we are left with nothing.
The legal battle between the city of Joburg and hawkers over trading rights is set to continue in court this morning. Last week, the Socio-Economic Rights Institute of South Africa dragged the city to court to challenge the removal of informal traders in the Johannesburg CBD. SERI, which is representing the informal traders, has argued that the removals are in violation of the hawkers' rights to trade. But the city says the removal of informal traders operating in undesignated areas and without municipal approval is part of its efforts to clean up the inner city. Joburg Mayor Dada Morero says unregulated trading activities have contributed to escalating lawlessness.
Our project is not against anyone. We are implementing the bylaws of the city to ensure that whoever is in the city trades in the right spaces as regulated and they take care of the environment.
And Donald Trump has played down the possibility of a U.S. war with Venezuela, but suggests that Nicolas Maduro's days as the country's president are numbered. Asked if the U.S. was going on war against Venezuela, the U.S. president told CBS News that he doubts it and he doesn't think so, but they've been treating, or rather Venezuela has been treating the U.S. very badly. His comments come as the U.S. continues to launch strikes on alleged drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean. The Trump administration says the strikes are necessary to stem the flow of drugs into the U.S. Trump rejected suggestions that the U.S. action was not about stopping narcotics, but aimed at ousting Maduro, a longtime Trump opponent. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng, with showers expected today. The temperatures are at lows of 13 and 15 degrees, peaking at highs between 21 and 22.
And in the traffic, we've got heavy delays on the N17 both directions between the R21 and Carnival City entrance. This is due to roadworks. While traveling on the N12 West, we've got more traffic volumes between Snake Road and the R21 turn-off due to peak time delays.
The top story this hour: wanted fugitive and Malawian pastor Shepherd Bushiri has accused senior South African police and Hawks officials of extortion.
There's a song that goes, "Money can't buy me love." And that's true. But then they told us all you need is love, which anybody with a mortgage will tell you most certainly is not true. Love won't pay your parking tickets or your student loan. It's also needy. It requires effort, availability, constant care. But more importantly, love requires time. And while money can't buy you love, it can certainly free up some of your time. Time to spend on the things you love, with the people you love. And if you're looking, maybe even time to find the one you love. That's why, after 50 years of investing, we've learned that time is the greatest gift of all. And the good news is, if you invest early, time gives you money. And then money gives you more time to do the things you love. And don't you love that about investing? Ellen Gray, long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP.
The Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra presents the second concert of the Spring Symphony season, featuring iconic works by Mendelssohn, Elgar, and more. Under the baton of conductor Michael Repper, the orchestra is joined by award-winning cellist Sandra Lead Haga, performing Haydn's joyful cello concerto. The concert takes place on Thursday, 6 November at 7:30 at the Linda Auditorium. Book your tickets through Quicket to avoid disappointment.
Hi, this is Carol Shabalala, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. It's more fun when it's for fun. Playing responsibly is always a winning strategy. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Professor Adrian Saville, the person you turn to when you want to understand what really happened in that summit between President Xi Jinping and President Donald Trump.
There's a tremendous amount at stake in terms of the implications for supply chains, for various industrial clusters, and at least one of the parties at the table has the ability to play the long game. The other doesn't. So there's a fair chunk at risk here, in particular, for the Trump administration.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by ABSA CIB, advancing Red Rocket's ambitions with Discovery Green as the off-taker to power Africa's future through affordable, renewable energy.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, Bongs. Geez, that's quite a harrowing story from Mr. T. But I think we need to look at some counterintelligence measures, particularly in these critical services. And I know that in other countries, you'd find that be permanently positioned on a rotational basis, call it federal agents or like professional people that actually just act like they work 9 to 5 to weed these things out. I mean, it's everywhere. It's in every country. I'm not saying it's right or right, but the counterintelligence needs to be done to actually make sure that these things are curbed. Because other than that, a trained professional agent, sort of put it like an FBI person, would know how to then whistleblow this without his life being in danger, versus me just going and saying, guys, this is what's happening at my workplace.
Yo, what an interview, Bongani, with Mr. T. Yo. No, it's scary, man. We thank God for people like him. Oh. What a sad thing. People trying to make sure that South Africa is free of corruption. It's very good that Mkhwanazi has also stood up to this. A lot of people can't take what Mr. T took. It really takes quite serious effort. You need to be strong and bold to risk such situations for your life. Big ups to him, man. It's very sad that after the state has realized they should become a witness, they don't protect you. I think something should be done. These people should get permanent security after being whistleblowers. Go.
Good morning, Bongani. Mr. T, you are my hero. I'm praying for you. I'm trusting God that He would uphold you. Let those corrupt people know that the decisions that they take, all good and bad, must come to an end. But we see you, and please stay strong. We hear you.
Are we winning? Are we? Mr. T says, listen, all they're interested in is your evidence. And so if you're a whistleblower, they'll protect you until you testify. Thereafter, you're on your own. He used this really powerful example. He said, because I said, what about the arrests? He says, oh, come on. He said, take cash in transit vehicle heists. He says, every day there's some shootout with police and the robbers get killed. And then the next day, there's another heist. And then the next day, there's another heist. And he says that's what corruption looks like in South Africa.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. A chance for you to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First 1,000 for the answer, and then a little later 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask for 500 Rand. Today's answer comes from Astra, who is in Four Ways. Astra, give us today's answer, please.
39 years old.
39 years old. And Astra, tell me, have you got yourself a quote from Outsurance?
I've been their client for over 20 years.
You biscuit. 1,000 Rand is coming your way, all thanks to Outsurance in 702. There you have it. Today's answer is 39 years old. What's the question? Call us if you know on 011 883 0702.
EWN Sport.
It was a valiant effort, nonetheless. Hey,
It was.
Cindy
It
Paluta.
was.
We called it on Friday.
You called it.
We said, well, I mean, we. You are me,
said,
I am
you said it will be very tough to beat India in
Yeah,
India, which
in
it
a
was.
final.
That crowd was amazing.
Listen, that 70,000 strong crowd was like 2, 3, 4, 5 extra players.
Yeah,
hey?
it was.
But the commitment of the Indian players was
Yes.
absolutely amazing to see.
So heartbreak for the Proteas, who lost to hosts India by 52 runs in the Women's Cricket World Cup final. India sent it to bat 298 for 7. Verma made 87. They had South Africa all out for 246. Sharma taking 5 wickets. Captain Laura Volfart with an amazing 101 that wasn't enough.
It's been a long month or 6 weeks. I think just the resilience that we're able to show as a team has been pretty big. As a leader, I think I've worked well with Coach Mandla. I think we complement each other pretty well. I'm glad we were able to reset sort of the squad after those games and to get us all the way to the final.
Manchester City moved up to second in the Premier League, 6 points behind Arsenal after beating Bournemouth 3-1. Holland scored 2 goals. Boss Pep Guardiola on relying on Holland too much.
Yeah, I know, but it's a little like when you play with Messi or Cristiano, the influence is so big, the vision, but I'm tough sometimes with him. I want to be and say that to do this and better, and always is with a try to, open-minded.
Newcastle lost to West Ham 3-1 tonight. Sunderland against Everton. Bottom of the table, Wolves without a win this season have axed manager Vitor Pereira. Their 3-0 loss to Fulham was the final straw. Back home in the Betway Premiership, Golden Arrows beat Murrumbidgee 4-0. Junior Dion scoring the opening goal to be the leading goal scorer on 7 for the season. Kumalo scored twice. TS Galaxy got a first win over Stellenbosch in 3 years, 2-0. Springboks have called up Asanati Ntlabakanya to replace Oxenchair, who was injured in the 61-7 thrashing of Japan. The Boks face France on Saturday night at 10:10. In tennis, Yannick Sinner is the men's world number 1 again with victory at the ATP Paris Masters, beating Ajay Lassim 6-4, 7-6. And at the WTA finals, the defending champion Coco Gauff is out. Jessica Pegula beat her 6-3, 6-7, 6-2, while Sabalenka beat Paulini in straight set 6-3 and 6-1 in the round of 16. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
No two people are identical, and nobody's finances are the same. That's why you need a banking partner that adapts to your complex circumstances. If you earn 800,000 Rand per annum or more, you may qualify for Investec Private Banking, where you'll enjoy effortless digital capabilities backed by real people who understand you. We'll even switch your account for you. Now that's private banking.
Investec is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. Investec, out of the ordinary.
Selling your car has never been easier. We Buy Cars goes above and beyond to make the process simple, quick and rewarding, helping you get the best price with zero hassle. Get a great offer for your car, bike, boat or bakkie in just a few clicks. Just complete the form on webuycars.co.za and get your offer today. Or if you're looking to trade in or buy your next ride, you can choose from over 12,000 vehicles online or visit your nearest We Buy Cars branch or pod. With a wide range of vehicles and flexible insurance, finance and cover options, you're guaranteed to drive away smiling. So whether you're buying or selling, We Buy Cars makes it easy. Visit webuycars.co.za or any We Buy Cars branch or pod today.
Feel like an Eastern Cape escape? With Fly Safair, you can now catch flights from Lanseria Airport to PE 7 times a week or Lanseria to East London 6 times a week. Tickets start from just 770 Rand. So get to flysafair.co.za and grab those flights now. Just think, wild coastlines, beautiful scenery, and the friendliest folks around, all just a fast, affordable flight away. Fly Safair, for the love of fly. T's and C's apply.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Citroen. Buy an Aircross from 279,000 Rand or a C3 from 262,000 Rand. With a service plan and get a 4-month payment holiday. Visit citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply. Amo?
Well, Bongani, the east of Joburg this morning is experiencing heavy traffic volumes for different reasons. The N17, both directions, queuing traffic between Carnival City and the R21. Roadworks are taking place along the route. There's also queuing traffic along the N12 west between Snake Road and the R21. Turn off peak time delays here, as well as an earlier accident while traveling on the R24, as well as the N12 A12 West, we're seeing delays. This is between Edenville Road and the Glulies interchange due to an accident. And then if you're heading towards Alexandra as well as Morningside, do expect heavier traffic volumes on the N3 North between the Galdays interchange and Modderfontein Road. An accident has been reported there. I'll have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Thinking about rolling in a new Citroen C3?
Did you just pause the ad?
Yep, like how we pause your installments. That's 4 months, no payments.
I got you. And the C3's got rear sensors, reverse camera, a warranty, and service plan.
Press pause on payments and play on life. Get the Citroen C3 from 264,500 and enjoy a 4-month payment holiday. Visit citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance. Please tell me what's the question if the answer is 39 years old. Let's go to... who has it right? Let's go to Oscar in Centurion. Oscar, what's the question?
Hi, Bongani. The question is, how old was the late singer Brenda Fassie when she passed away in 2004?
Yes, indeed. She would have been 61 years old today, hey? That's what I still can't get over. She was 39 years old. It was the year she was meant to turn 40, and she passed away. But tell you what, Oscar, her music lives with us. 2,000 Rand is coming your way, my friend, all thanks to 702 and Outsurance.
But I'm ending right on top. No one can hold me back. I'm never gonna stop. Your love is all I need to see me through my day. Come closer, baby. Let me chase the blues away. Ain't nothing stopping us. We're reaching for the top. Ain't nothing stopping us. We're reaching for love. Ain't nothing stopping us. Ooh, baby.
I propose a commission of inquiry. KG's song selection. This is the no. KG, what do better, Papa?
Ah, man, KG has redeemed himself. KG has redeemed himself. A happy birthday to the late, great Brenda Fassie. Now, ready for the ultimate Black Friday deal? Get a quote from Outsurance today, and if they can't beat your car insurance premium, ask them for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free with the same insurer for 3 years. With Outsurance, you could get monthly premium savings or at least 500 Rand cash. You've got nothing to lose. SMS out to 45142. So that's out to 45142. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
Who says everyday driving can't be très chic? Rent premium with Sani 6 now. own the stylish Citroen C3 later. Yes, that's 3 cars, 3 months, 3 chances to say ooh la la. Just book directly on sani.co.za, call us or rent at any branch between 1 November and 31 January, and you're automatically entered into the draw. Bon voyage with Sani Sixt and win. T's and C's apply.
Join Temikosi Mthembu from the hit series Shaka Ilembe and be the strong man who makes better health a legacy. Shop Sela Men's Health Range. Strong man, stress and anxiety, clear skin, joint and gout, and daily immune. Available as a tea, mixture and capsules. Shop today at Clicks, Discount, ShopRite, Checkers, Boxer, Pick and Pay and Spar. Don't compromise. Sela iyasebenza.
Smart Steve from Momentum, hello.
Steve, you moved to Momentum. Congrats.
Thanks.
It's Tasha. Listen, the fast-paced life in Josie just isn't working for me. I'm migrating to the Cape.
What does that have to do with life insurance?
Well, you know I love a glass or 3. And I want to age as graciously as a smooth Merlot, not a box of car Bordeaux.
Naturally.
And I need my critical illness cover to pair with those chill vibes.
Of course. With Momentum, you get the most comprehensive critical illness cover in the market. You could say it's a full-bodied offering.
I'll toast to that.
Chat to your financial advisor about Momentum's critical illness cover. Momentum, protecting your journey to success. Momentum is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
702
702. What's gone viral?
with Kabazela.
Time now to catch up with the world of viral content. Hello, Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Barely.
Let's talk about your eating style.
Yeah, I mean, if you go out for a meal with somebody that you've just met, they may have a peculiar eating style. They may hoover it down. They may be very slow. And then you even look at your partner, right? Your wife, your husband, whoever it may be that you're with at the moment, friends, and you look at their eating style and you think, oh, you know, that's hectic. I can't do that. And then maybe you try and match their eating style, and it's just, you can't. So there's this video that this guy has done with his wife. So he decided to try and match his wife's eating style because she eats very, very slowly, and she kind of looks at the food and plays around with it before she gets going. And it just doesn't work for him, right? Because he normally picks up, let's say it's a burger, picks it up, gets tucked in straight away, where she looks at it, maybe picks up the bun, fiddles with it, and then eats in stages. So do you have that person in your life that is a very, very strange eater? Or maybe strange is not the word. They just are a finicky eater. So they may eat very fast. They may eat in stages. So they'll have a couple of bites, then they put it down and they sit and they chat. Or maybe take photos of the food even before they begin. So what kind of an eater are you when it comes to your food? Do you hoof the food down, or are you a slow eater, a person who eats in stages? Let's hear those this morning.
I've told my kids, we are not wolves. No, I promise you, all the food that's on your plate is yours. No one else is going to have it. They're going to kill me for saying this. Oh, what kind of eater are you? Kabazela wants to know.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 451442 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. You know what, Amma, we don't talk enough about people who eat in their cars and who've got little packages or things, and how that can be a distraction. Forget how dirty your car is, but as you are looking for
for the
chip
food,
or whatever it is, you take your eye off the road.
Yes.
Got to be careful with that kind of thing. What's in traffic?
Well, at this particular moment, we still have got delays along the N12 and the R24 West. This is between Barber Road and the Kilulis interchange. An earlier accident is causing these heavy traffic volumes. Tembisa roadworks are back up again, causing heavy traffic volumes between the R25 and Oliphants-Fontaine Road. There's also queuing traffic in the city of Tshwane along the N1 South, approaching the Flying Saucer turn off. That's also due to roadworks. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
You could spend 10 minutes on social media,
Or get a 10-minute quote from Outsurance that could save you thousands on your car insurance. For his 2024 GWMP series, 54-year-old Amos now pays only 1,004 Rand a month. And for his 2024 Toyota Urban Cruiser, 55-year-old Andre pays just 776 Rand a month. Ready to get more out of your car insurance? SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
702.
702. Feedback.
With Siamtanda Matiso.
Siamtanda Matiso.
Hello.
Do you know any strange eaters? Or
I
are you one
used
yourself?
To go to high school with a girl who used to pick apart her pie. So she would first eat the
Inside,
the
the
inside,
filling.
steak and kidneys, and then eat the pastry. Used to be so disturbing to watch. And she did
No.
it every single time. She was like, I enjoy the meat, so I'll start with the meat first, and then I will eat the rest after. Yeah.
Ne?
But thinking about
Some
food, I
people's
mean, my
children.
mom used to make me like mix the vegetables and everything all together
In your
because
food.
she knew that, this one.
Oh, you won't eat.
She won't eat. if I don't
What
do
other
that.
feedback do you have?
Lots of reactions to your interview with Mr. T. Bongs. Lots of frustration, concern, anger. We had listeners crying. They're saying, listen, all Mr. T was trying to do is
His
to
job.
expose corruption, and now he's hiding. Like, what country are we living in when whistleblowers are not protected? And him saying that after testifying you on your own just shows
Yeah.
the bigger problem that we're living with,
There was
Bongs.
another part he told us here.
Mm.
He was in a disciplinary hearing.
Yeah.
And he's testifying against a colleague. The colleague in front of whoever was chairing this thing threatens him. Ne? Threatens him. And he says to the chairperson, did you not hear this man is threatening me? As in, I'm going to kill you or you need to be killed. And the chairperson says, no, my mandate is only to deal with disciplinary matters.
Oh my.
I don't deal with threats on people's lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, ne?
And it leaves that question that many listeners have been saying, Bongs, who will be willing to stand up now against corruption if the consequences are this, if you're going to be shot, if you're going to be living in hiding?
Yeah. Our exclusive interview with Mr. T is on ewn.co.za.
This is EWN.
South Africa has been struck by high levels of gun attacks, and Nigeria rejects claims of Christian genocide as Trump mouths military action. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. There's been an increase in gun violence in the country recently. Police have had their hands full investigating murders that have been on the spotlight since the start of the month. The most recent attack is a drive-by shooting that left 6 people dead in Rekha Park on Johannesburg's East Rand over the weekend. National Police Commissioner Fani Masimula has promised that the criminals will be found.
We'll see how we worked well when we were doing Kwatema. So we hope even here we'll go a long way, because I understand there is a side in this area. We will engage and see if we can better our strategies to bring a police station to the community.
Meanwhile, 2 women in Mamelodi were killed and left to die on the side of the road over a week ago. Cousins Beliseng and Siamo Marumoja were shot and left few meters away from where they lived. Tebogo Mnisi, who is believed to be the boyfriend of one of the women, has since been arrested. The civic movement Soil of Africa wants Tshwane Mayor Nasipi Moya and Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi to speak to the community about plans to deal with crime in the area. The organization's Bongani Ramoncha says they will bring the city to a standstill if their concerns are ignored.
We have Metro Police and SAPS, but they are nowhere to be seen in high-risk zones. Our children are dying and our women are being slaughtered, and gangsters are ruling the street. The silence from those in power is a betrayal for their own people.
And 7 youngsters in Westbury were shot and left 2 dead and 5 others injured earlier this month. 2 people have been arrested, including the mastermind of that shooting. Ntokozo Kumalo has more on one of the suspects' court appearance today.
On the 22nd of October, a hail of bullets was fired on Crossier Street towards a group of teenagers between the ages of 14 and 19. According to the police, the teenagers were approached by 4 suspects on foot carrying firearms. Last week, Friday, the first suspect appeared before the Johannesburg Magistrate Court. His case was postponed to Thursday for a bail application. Meanwhile, the alleged mastermind will be at the same court for their first appearance today. Ndogozo Kumalo, Eyewitness News.
The Home Affairs Department says it has taken disciplinary action against several of its employees implicated in corruption flagged by a whistleblower. 702 Breakfast recently sat down with Mr. T, who was named by former Home Affairs Minister Arun Motsoaledi as someone who blew the lid on major corruption at the Marabastad Home Affairs Office in Pretoria. Since speaking out, Mr. T has had 2 attempts on his life. While he has survived both assassination attempts, he lives in hiding with 4 bullets still in his body. Homozo Modise reports.
When former Home Affairs Minister Arun Motsoaledi described Mr. T during a press briefing on corruption at the Tembisa Hospital, he likened him to Babita Deokaran, describing him as a diligent man who hates corruption. While Mr. T put his life on the line to fight corruption, he says some officials implicated in the rot in the department have gotten off with a slap on the wrist.
Then I identified the guy. Then the following day I called him to my office. Then he could not explain. He immediately said, well, I have a problem with cash.
Mr. T says because he pleaded guilty, the man was suspended for 3 months only to return to work, raising concern that he could possibly engage in corruption again. Home Affairs says a number of cases reported by Mr. T have been investigated and disciplinary action has been taken against implicated officials. Homozo Modise, Eyewitness News.
Suspected criminal Vusmuzi Matlala's web of corruption in the SAPS is set to continue to take center stage as the Matlanga Commission hears about the businessman's links to several senior police officials. Recent testimony before the Commission of Inquiry has implicated senior cops who Matlala allegedly bankrolled to avoid accountability for a dodgy 360 million rand police health service tender. Upon his arrest in May, Matlala allegedly spilled the beans to investigators about who he was paying for protection. And US President Donald Trump has repeated his threats of a military operation in Nigeria over killings of Christians after the Nigerian presidency suggested a meeting to resolve the issue. In an explosive post on his Truth Social platform on Saturday, Trump said that he asked the Pentagon to map out a possible plan of attack in Nigeria 1 day after warning that Christianity was facing an existential threat in Africa's most populous country. Nigeria, which is almost evenly divided between a Muslim majority north and a largely Christian south, is embroiled in numerous conflicts that experts say have killed both Christians and Muslims without distinction. Nigeria has denied that Christians have been targeted by jihadist attacks more than other faiths. Gold is trading at $4,011.41 an ounce. The rand is at 17.29 to the dollar, 22.73 to the pound, 19.95 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $65.01 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got heavy delays on the R21 north in the Tembisa area due to roadworks right near Olifantsfontein Road. Delays as we come out of the R25. There's also bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N12 as well as the R24 west between Barber Road and the Gilulis interchange due to an accident.
And in your sport, Proteas women return home tomorrow afternoon as World Cup runners-up. Manchester City beat Bournemouth 3-1 to jolt up to second in the Premier League. Springboks without Oxenchair for the rest of the year. Asanati and Klebakanya has been called up. And Yannick Sinner back top of the world tennis rankings.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 21 and 22 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. There's been an increase in gun violence in the country in recent days.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 8 o'clock. 8 minutes after 8 o'clock. I'm really keen to hear your responses to our exclusive interview, 702 Breakfast with Eyewitness News. Speaking to Mr. T. You'll remember, of course, that long statement made by the former Home Affairs Minister, Dr. Arun Motsoaledi. Mr. T, in fact, says, to his credit, Dr. Motsoaledi did come to his house He even says he brought Andy Mutibi, Advocate Andy Mutibi from the Special Investigating Unit to look into some of the allegations that he made. But as we speak, Mr. T is still in hiding, entirely on his own. We had to obscure his identity, not because he's unknown to the officials, but he just doesn't want to make it easy for the assassins who are still coming after him. Just think about that, right? The people who've put a contract on his life, they know who he is and what he looks like, but he just doesn't want to make it easy for the assassins. They're paying to come after him. And what do? We have ceremonies and candlelight ceremonies for people like Babita. And we put flowers out and we say, not in our name, we care about whistleblowers. But the ones who are alive are on their own. Would you do it?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Morning, Bongs, over in Waterfall. Tembisa hospital scandal was just the tip of an iceberg, and there are so many families who have lost their loved ones, like the Diokaran family, But there are so many Babitas. Some are on wheelchairs, we don't know about them. Some have been buried, we know nothing about them. All from saying no to corruption. The South African tendering system is just a Tembisa hospital scandal. Just that one remains the tip of an iceberg. Thank you, Bongs. Moving interview that. Yes.
Good morning, Bongani. I don't understand. Since when is corruption not a criminal offense? These people, they were found guilty in the disciplinary. But what about criminal offense? Why are there no charges against them? Penny from Fourways.
Good morning, Bongani. No, this is sad what Mr. T have just said. This is very sad. You see, the sad part is that, look, these things, it is very organized. It's not junior members who are doing these things. It is the most senior members who are orchestrating these things. And whenever you expose these things, you get victimized. This is very sad, Anonymous.
Good morning, Bongani. I hear that the Department of Home Affairs has investigated the matters and the disciplinary hearings have been held. But the question is, who is in jail? The second thing is that whilst Mr. T is in hiding, what is the department or the government in general offering the man and his now fatherless children? Those are the questions for me. Mokhomotsi from Centurion.
Good morning, Bongos and team. Wow, what an interview. My goodness, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking a lot of people are probably taking on this corruption because they think it's not worth it to go against these guys because eventually you will lose your life or live the way Mr. T is living. Really, we are led by the mafias. Greed, it is so bad, that people feel the entitlement to take someone's life just because of money that they didn't even work for. This is shocking, man. If we were really doing or conducting lifestyle audits, you will tell that these people's salaries can never afford the lifestyles that they're living. But obviously, that is overlooked because they see that, a lot of them are actually there. Listen to this man saying 40 people. My word, I'm shocked. Gosh, Shadi Kempton Park.
Morning, Bongani and the listeners. Oh my goodness, I'm having goosebumps. I'm a nurse. I'm a witness of those duplicate identity documents. And it's so frustrating, Bongani, to see that the officials are doing such illegal things. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yo.
You can catch that interview, the longer version of it on ewn.co.za. And I think it's an important story to tell because we often talk about those who aren't here to speak for themselves and we remember them as heroes. But what do we do for those who are still with us? We're joined on the line now by Ali Gule, who is the Babita Diokaran family spokesperson, reacting just to that interview. Ali, a very good morning to you. You heard Mr. T, and I said earlier that in my introduction, we don't know what Babita might say if she was still around. What did you reflect on hearing what he says about A, the attempts on his life, and B, that he's essentially on his own?
Good morning, Bongani and your listeners, and thank you. Your interview, such a touching topic. You've just put a human behind a statistic. You know, whistleblowers are not just numbers, are people. I went to Mofole's home and met the family after he was killed. And, you know, so many things, so nice things have been said by various spokespersons of the government, but actually we don't think they walk the talk. There's no political will to save whistleblowers. They are on their own. Let me take, for an example, quick one. Babita left a daughter behind. She was a single mom. Sometimes you don't know what to say to the daughter. She's in university now. Sometimes it's her mom's birthday, her own birthday. And before you know it, the day when Babita was killed come across again. We're talking about humans here. We're talking about human lives. They've got next of kin. This issue is so serious. I'm not sure if the government is living up to the expectation of what is expected from the government. It's a sad reality we're facing every day.
Gosh, Ali, thank you for that call. Ali Gule is the Babita Deokaran family spokesperson. And why would they? I mean, we've heard enough, say, in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. We heard enough at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. We're hearing enough from that ad hoc committee in Parliament looking into these allegations of criminal cartels infiltrating law enforcement. We've heard enough from Scopa's inquiry into the road accident fund. Why would they act when always they've been protecting their comrades, when always they themselves are implicated? Why would they act?
EWN Traffic.
8:15. Let's catch up with the roads now. Amo, it's a Monday, start of a brand new week. How bad is it?
Well, Bongani, traffic is mad on the R24 as well as the N12 West. This is between the R21 and the Klulis interchange due to an accident reported right at the N12 and R24 merge while traveling on the N3 North. Bumper-to-bumper traffic as well between the Yelans interchange and Morafontein Road. This is due to an earlier accident as well as peak time delays. Speaking of peak time pressure, we've got more along the Mike 1 North between the Kilani Bends and Grayston Drive. There's also peak time pressure along the N1 North between Malibongwe Drive and Rivonia Road. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. Let's talk.
We're listening.
Good morning, Bongani and the team and the 702 Linders. I eat very fast. Without me seeing that I'm doing it, somehow I'm just eating fast. And I try by all means to slow down. I can't. My daughter eats very slow. She takes forever chewing her food. She doesn't really fiddle with her food, but her food stays in her mouth. She will be chewing and chewing. And yeah, I tried to match her eating style, and goodness, I can't. I don't know if I don't chew my food enough or I chew my food fast enough. I don't know.
Good morning, Uncle Box and the team. Oh, I'm the wolf. Since you're telling your kids that they're not wolves, I am the wolf because I will eat my food so quick, and sometimes I don't even notice. I think I'm just used to it, but I've noticed the reason I probably do that is because if I eat slow, I end up not finishing my food, and yeah, I kind of get bored. I don't know, but I just never finish my food if I eat slow. So I want to finish the food while it's still warm. Quick, fast in a hurry. Great show as always. Happy Monday. Carolyn Randberg.
Hi, Bongani. Talking about eating in cars, I'm always baffled by people who actually choose to eat food that requires cutlery while driving. I mean, I just think that's crazy.
We're talking about strange ways you eat, you've observed other people eat. That was Kabazela's question. And I said earlier that I tell my kids all the time, we are not wolves. Whatever's on your plate, I promise you, pinky promise, it's all yours. No one's coming to take it from you. So take your time, chew your food properly. They'll hate me for saying this on air. Amo?
Your children and I have a lot in common. After you've said that
You're a
they
wolf.
speak, they talk a
Are
lot.
you a wolf?
Oh, I eat very fast. And I didn't know. I wasn't aware that I eat very fast until my husband told me, because apparently this one time when we were watching a movie at the movie theater, and he says that my hand couldn't get out of the popcorn box because he couldn't even get a chance of eating because I was just going for these popcorns, going. And I realized I actually do eat very fast. And I do enjoy my food. I do chew my food.
But
yeah, I'm a fast eater.
you'll be on the dessert when I'm just finishing the starter. Mateo? Gulp.
Gulp. The food is delicious, guys. So I don't know. Yes, you can save or whatever. But I grew up in an era where we used to band together, buy chips and bread together and eat off the same plate. And if you're slow and you're savoring your food, you're not going to have much. No. Also, the reward system of this, talking to how I eat, the reward system of leaving the meat for last. I've learned I don't have to do that anymore.
Funny ways of eating.
Are you looking for the best spectacle and sunglass deal? With Specsavers buy one, get one offer, you get great value for money. Get a free pair of branded single vision prescription sunglasses up to 3,300 Rand when you purchase a comprehensive eye examination and spectacle frames with lenses on your first pair. The best part? Choose from top brands like Police, Hugo, Under Armour, Tommy Hilfiger, Red Bull Specs, and more. Affordable eye care? Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
The team's on a roll today. Let me focus on payroll. Duty calls in the kitchen. That's why I have a business insurer that is agile and on the ball all the time on all things. I chose My Way Business Insurance, getting 24/7 emergency service and saving on my premiums, plus my business assist to handle my admin.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
Feel like an Eastern Cape escape? With FlySafair, you can now catch flights from Lanseria Airport to PE 7 times a week or Lanseria to East London 6 times a week. Tickets start from just 770 Rand. So get to flysafair.co.za and grab those flights now. Just think, wild coastlines, beautiful scenery, and the friendliest folks around, all just a fast, affordable flight away. FlySafair, for the love of fly. T's and C's apply.
Looking for real ways to live greener? Then don't miss Green Tip of the Week, your weekly dose of sustainable inspiration from eco entrepreneurs to climate champions. We sit down with the people making real change. Catch Green Tip of the Week every Tuesday on Afternoon Drive with John Polman from 3 to 6 p.m. You will grin if you care about green. See? Only on 702. Proudly brought to you by Volvo. It's safe to be brave with Volvo.
702, The World View
with Adam Gilchrist.
It starts out with news from elsewhere in the world by looking at Jamaica. Adam, it's the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. It really pummeled Jamaica, didn't it?
Oh, my word. Yeah, and the death toll has gone up also over the last couple of days to 28. But tragically, it's not even the death toll that is the center of the focus now. It is the destruction to whole communities. And it's taken 5/6 days to actually see exactly how bad it is. And we're seeing how bad it is, but mainly from the air, because a lot of roads are still blocked by debris or floodwater in some cases. But the whole western end of Jamaica, so Black River, Montego Bay, the opposite end of Kingston, has seen the worst of the destruction. Buildings razed to the ground. Whole neighborhoods are just nothing anymore. They're just bits of debris strewn across the streets. Again, floodwater, whether it's blocking roads or in people's neighborhoods. The Red Cross says 3/4 of people across Jamaica still have no electricity. Here we are 5-6 days later, but it's in particular the lack of aid. And the fact is that the airports were closed for a while, which didn't help, but getting the aid to the people who need it. It is always like that after earthquakes, but after hurricanes, it appears it's the same. And it must be desperate for an awful lot of people.
Indeed. It's just been absolutely awful to see some of those visuals. Let's go across now the Atlantic, Adam, and go to England. That mass stabbing on a train.
My word, this really does conjure up the imagination. If you can imagine being on a train, somebody soaked in blood comes running through the carriage shouting, "He's got a knife, he's stabbing people." Chaos and panic and just sheer terror ensued up through the carriages of this train as this guy did indeed start stabbing people seemingly at random. One woman was spared. She said, "Please don't kill me." And he uttered something about the devil and moved on. Another woman he was trying to attack, but the train guard got in the way, and he's now been hailed a hero for putting his body in the way. But unfortunately, he's one of those in hospital with a life-threatening injury, or set of injuries, I suppose I should say. But also, ultimately, although the train driver diverted the train pretty quickly to a station, it wouldn't otherwise have stopped there, and the emergency services were there very quickly. As they approached, he shouted, "Kill me, kill me." And the police didn't kill him, as they might in other places. They tasered him and arrested him. And so maybe we'll get some answers. Maybe he is, in true old-fashioned words, a nutter. But at this stage, it's just inescapable. The kind of terror, imagine being in your seat on a train. You've got nowhere really to go. People locking themselves in toilets or grabbing laptops as protection. And 11 people very badly injured as a result of this lone nutter, should we call him that?
Perhaps let's end it on a more optimistic note. Adam, tell us about this survivor in France.
Surviving the French way. So this is a cyclist who was cycling home in the mountainous Cevennes region of southern France. He had been to the supermarket. He had a few supplies and some wine on his cycle. He missed his turn, though, going home. He skidded on some gravel and plunged over the edge into a ravine, a 40-meter deep ravine. He's damn lucky he didn't break anything or indeed get killed, but he survived the fall. And so did several bottles of red wine, which he then lived off for 3 days. He couldn't scramble out of the ravine. He called for help every time he heard a noise up above. Nobody seemed to answer. Although I imagine if he was getting through the wine, it was probably more of a drunken gurgle. "Oh, so good." Maybe he didn't want to be rescued when it was lunchtime. You know the French. In the end, there was a passing roadworks team, just as his wine had run out, who basically scrambled down and got him to safety. A few cuts and bruises and a little hypothermia. But it does prove the thing that people always tell us, doesn't it? That red wine is good for you, clearly.
I'll drink to that. Adam Gilchrist with this morning's Worldview.
EWN Business.
Right, let's wrap up the morning's business news. Let's start with the school group Curo to delist from the JSE. The shareholders have agreed to that multi-billion deal. Mateo?
Yeah, Curo shareholders have overwhelmingly voted in favor of going private. Now, in August, the Johnny Morton Foundation announced its plan to acquire all of Curo Holdings' issued shares, offering its shareholders the equivalent of Capitec shares, PSG Financial Services shares, and cash in exchange for their Curo holding. Now, the private school giant's privatization will see the company delist from the JSE and become a non-profit organization that will focus on giving private school education to the less fortunate. The Johnny Morton Foundation offered to buy all of the company's shares for around 7.2 billion rand. Established in 1998, Curo has since become the largest private school group in South Africa. The company has over 180 schools in operation across the country, serving affordable, high-quality education to a broad cross-section of South Africa's society. Now, Johnny Morton is one of South Africa's most successful businessmen, having founded many of the country's most well-known companies, including PSG Group, Capitec, and Curo.
Tell me about Aspen Pharmacare. They've settled that costly drug manufacturing contract.
Yeah, a deal gone wrong that's cost them billions of rands. Pharmaceutical company Aspen Pharmacare has reached a settlement with an offshore client in the US over a contract dispute related to mRNA drug manufacturing. The dispute relates to a manufacturing and technology agreement for mRNA products with a contract manufacturing customer that didn't go well. The dispute has been resolved, with the client agreeing to pay Aspen Pharmacare 500 million rand before the 1st of December this year. Aspen will receive approximately 500 million rand in the full and final settlement of the dispute. When the pharmaceutical company first announced the fallout with the unnamed US firm, it wiped off 2.7 billion rand off its bottom line.
All right, tell me about the economic week. What are we entering? How are the markets?
Markets are looking, should be looking good on Monday. The rand definitely is after the weakness we saw on Friday. The JSE was down more than 400 points on Friday, led down by industrial shares, which were down close to 1%. Banking stocks were also in the red, with mining shares holding on for very, very marginal gains. But to start off the week, the rand is punching above its weight, 17 rand 29 cents against the US dollar, 19 rand 95 cents against the euro, and at 22 rand 72 cents against the British pound. The price of gold is now at $4,015 an ounce, while platinum is up 1.5% at $1,586. Brent crude is now at $65.17 a barrel. Really, really good for those petrol and diesel prices. That's your morning business. Stephen Grotes will handle business later this afternoon.
It's been one of those mornings, maybe a little heavy, hopefully a little humorous, but how about some inspiration? Up next, we're going to be having an interview with the ultimate disability ambassador. It is, of course, Disability Awareness Month that kicks off from today until the 3rd of December. We are going to meet Mr. Crazy Legs. This is a man who runs marathons clutching crutches. You can't do it on 2 legs? He tries it with his 4. He'll tell us coming up next. In the meantime, let's go straight to the news desk. Sfisa Zulu, what you got?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. National Police Commissioner Fanny Masimula says there are plans to address the capacity constraints at the Rekha Park police station in Ekurhuleni after 6 people were killed and 3 others injured. Community leaders say it's not the first time they've had to raise concern about inadequate police resources to fight crime. This includes concerns about a small police station without holding cells on site. Masimula promised residents that a process to resolve the challenges will soon get underway.
We'll see how we worked well when we were doing Kwatema. So we hope even here we'll go a long way, because I understand there is a side in this area. We will engage and see if we can better our strategies to bring a police station to the community.
Wanted fugitive and Malawian pastor Shepherd Bushiri has accused senior South African police officers and Hawks officials of extortion. He says they demanded a multi-million rand bribe to let him stay in the country unlawfully before later fleeing to Malawi while out on bail. Bushiri is facing charges of fraud, money laundering and rape. The accusations against the police come as the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry continues to hear testimony about alleged interference and corruption in the South African justice system. During a live broadcast on a Friday night service at his Enlightened Christian Gatherings Church, Bushiri claimed he was asked to pay a protection fee by the officials in 2016.
I remember some of my team members going to have a meeting with this Pharaoh General, known as General Sibia. So much money was collected in the name of this general to stop this case, instead of the general to stop the case. So it was corruption after another corruption. Problem, you go to the authorities, they also are demanding for something, to end something.
The SACP has taken another thinly veiled swipe at the ANC, accusing the party of bowing to political pressure of some partners in the GNU, continuing to sideline its old allies. The SACP held its Red October rally in Klerksdorp in the northwest yesterday. Secretary Solly Mapaila addressed party members on a range of issues, including reaffirming a decision to run against its tripartite alliance partner, the ANC, at next year's local government elections. The SACP says its decision was largely due to the ANC refusing to reconfigure the alliance's terms to include more consensus in decision-making. Mapaila still insists this doesn't spell the end of the alliance.
We gave too much trust, so much that today we don't even have leverage for the ANC to change its positions. Some unknown parties recently established, they can control and direct the ANC. Tina, our leverage is the trust we have on the ANC. And when the ANC betrays this trust, we are left with nothing.
And at least 20 people have died after an earthquake struck northern Afghanistan, with the toll expected to rise as rescue efforts continue. Hundreds have also been left injured. The earthquake struck near Nazar al-Sharif, one of the largest cities in Afghanistan, home to around 500,000 people, in the early hours of this morning. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng, with isolated showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 21 and 22 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got heavy delays on the N3 North between the Van Buren Road exit and Modderfontein Road. There's also queuing traffic on the R21 North in the Tembisa area, just as you approach Olifantsfontein Road, and that's due to roadworks.
The top story this hour, National Police Commissioner Fani Masumula says there are plans to address the capacity constraints at Rekha Park Police Station after 6 people were killed and 3 others injured.
You could spend 10 minutes waiting for that video to download, or get a 10-minute quote from Outsurance that could save you thousands on your car insurance. SMS out to 45142. Like 57-year-old Andy, who now pays only 1,083 Rand a month for his 2024 Ford Ranger. With Outsurance Comprehensive, you get 24/7 roadside assistance in case you break down, run out of petrol, lock your keys in the car, and more. Get used to getting more out. SMS out to 45142. After switching, 48-year-old Felicity now pays only 836 Rand a month for her 2020 Hyundai Tucson. Outsurance will either save you money on your car insurance or give you cash. That's right. If Outsurance can't beat what you're currently paying, ask them for 500 Rand. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Savings or cash, you have nothing to lose. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online. Limits apply.
To sell or not to sell, that's the question. Whether selling a car, bike, boat or bakkie, WeBuyCars offers instant payment and a stress-free experience. Simply complete the form on webuycars.co.za for the best offer. Trading in or shopping for your next ride? Explore over 12,000 vehicles online or visit WeBuyCars in store. Whether buying or selling, head to WeBuyCars today.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, Bongs and team. My boss eats very fast, very, very fast. So one decided to ask him, why do you eat so fast? Then he said he was in boarding school, and if you ate slowly, the bullies would eat your food. That's where he learned to eat fast.
Hi, Bongani and the listeners. I've got a colleague or a friend. His name is Leslie Dibakwane. I'm naming and shaming. He actually eats, he'll take 2 rusks and take the whole morning eating those 2 rusks. That's how slow he is. If, God forbid, if he has something bigger, then it's literally the whole day.
Good morning, my friend. For me, I would say I'm a fairly eater. Not fast, not slow. Because I like to enjoy my food, and in whatever that is in the plate, I start by trying to figure out the combinations first. If it's rice and mince, okay, rice and butternut. If it's rice and whatever, combinations first, and then go to check if they all combine together. If I try to put them together in a spoon, what does that's how I eat. So for me, I would say it's not fast, but fairly eater.
A fairly eater. I think that's what he's fairly, right? We're talking about people you've noticed, or maybe you yourself, who eat their food in funny ways. This is from a video Kabazela posted. Do you gulp everything down, every morsel? Are you in a race with your food? A race against the clock? Munch, 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 and wipe it all clean? Or are you one? Because the other irritating thing are those people who just take forever. They make you feel like an overeater. You know those people who are really, really slow? You get to dessert and they're just finishing the starters. What kind of eater are you is the question. One of the things I do love, and have you noticed the cooking shows, especially things like MasterChef, how the judges taste the food, right? And they're trying to combine it to taste it. I sometimes have a little bit of fun and I pretend I'm a MasterChef judge also. How do you eat your food? Let's have fun.
EWN Sport.
Gulp, 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 gulp. Everything down. Cindy?
My husband's a fast eater.
I think it's just habit. So I've noticed I eat much faster now, and I remind myself every now and then, you don't have to eat. My worst is when I eat like a Magnum, and then I eat it, and I eat it so fast, and then I'm like, oh, now I need a second one to enjoy it because I ate the first one too fast.
I tell you what, lots of celebrations, lots to eat when the Proteas women come back from this World Cup, and it was a valiant effort.
It was a great effort, and runners up at the World Cup will take it. They arrive at RR Tambo tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. The Proteas lost to hosts India by 52 runs yesterday in the final. They tried to chase down 299. Laura Wolford was amazing with her 101, but it wasn't enough.
I thought we were in the chase for a very long time. I think we were pretty neck and neck with them when they showed the updates on the scoreboard. I thought me and Dirkson's partnership was pretty big. I thought we were going to take it through to the end. But yeah, then she just got out right as we were trying to sort of launch into the back 10, and then I went out too soon after. And yeah, I still thought Chloe and Nate could do it together. I think we left Nadine a little bit too much to do by herself.
Erling Haaland scored twice as Manchester City beat Bournemouth 3-1 to leapfrog 4 teams into second place in the Premier League. City are 6 points behind the leaders Arsenal. West Ham, trying to fight out of the relegation zone, came from a goal down to beat Newcastle 3-1. Tonight, Sunderland against Everton. Bottom of the table, Wolves, without a win this season, have now axed their manager Vitor Pereira.
I like that lead. It's a comfortable enough. Yes, I know it's still early in the
only 10
season,
games in, guys.
but 6, that's the kind of distance, daylight I like between us and the rest.
As much as I hate to say this, I have a feeling that because you all laughed and poked fun of Liverpool, they're going to come back and win the league. Because that's generally what happens when you poke the bear. Back home in the Betway Premiership, Sundown stay top of the table 2 points ahead of Skakunu, who are 1 point ahead of Orlando Pirates. Yesterday, Golden Arrows beat Maroma Galant 4-0. Junior Dion's opening goal takes his tally to 7 for the season, so he's the leading goal scorer. TS Galaxy beat Stellenbosch 2-0. Springboks have called up Asanati and Tlabakanya to replace the injured Oxen chair, coach Rassie Rasmus.
Unfortunately, in the tackle situation, I think it is ankle and his knee, so he's on crutches. Probably planning to replace him. We've got obviously Buan and Gerard. I thought also played really well, and then Thomas is back, and then we have Wilco and Zach. But if another loose head goes down in the week, then we're a bit in trouble. So we'll think Asanatu will come in, but his name Thomas will probably just swing between tight head and loose head for us.
The Boks are playing France on Saturday night at 10:10. Yannick Sinner's back top of the men's world tennis rankings after beating Auger Sim 6-4 and 7-6 to win the ATP Paris Masters final.
Well, it's not only in my hands, I'm of course happy. I knew from the beginning of the week there is this chance, before the final, before every tournament or every match. I try to put the best performance I can on the court, and then whatever comes.
And at the WTA finals today, Swiatek players Rybakina and Anisimova against Keys. Yesterday, Sabalenka cruised past Paolini, while the defending champion Coco Gauff was beaten by Jessica Pegula. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
19 minutes before 9 o'clock. Let's wrap up Monday morning's traffic. Amo, it's been a busy start to the week.
It has been indeed, Bongani. If you're traveling on the Mark 1 North at this particular moment, we've got an accident reported right after the Killarney Bends. Delays coming out of Empire Road towards Grayston Drive. Also, to add on, those delays is due to the peak time delays at this time of the morning. While traveling on the N3 North, we've got roadworks taking place between the Marlborough Drive exit and the Baklu interchange, causing about a 15-minute hold up there. If you want to avoid these roadworks and you're heading towards areas like Woodmead as well as Rubonia, please try to use the Mark 1 North instead. While traveling on the R21 North, more roadworks are causing delays. This is between the R25 and Olifantsfontein Road. More updates at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Access to the internet is vital for any country to grow. That's why the recent 6.75 billion rand digital infrastructure deal that Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking facilitated between Telkom and an Actors-led consortium is so transformational for South Africa. It unlocks growth and provides internet access to underserved communities who will now have access to the internet for the very first time. Search CIB Stories of Impact to watch the full story.
Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
I'm Samela Kelboy, an actress and mom to 3 lovely kids. I worry about how sugar can make them sick. Drinking sugary drinks could lead to diabetes, heart disease, and obesity as they get older. Diabetes is one of the top causes of death in South Africa. I'm joining the fight to demand government puts our health ahead of greedy industry profits. Government must act now. Protect public health. Increase the health tax on sugary drinks, tobacco, and alcohol. Sign the petition on heala.org. That's HEALA.org.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
All right, Clement Manyatela, baggy eyes.
Baggy eyes?
Red eyes.
Please, I am
Did you have
as fresh as ever.
Do you have the Baba and the Last this morning?
No.
You had a good, clean weekend. What did you do?
I read.
Oh, what are you reading?
Book,
What are you reading?
Dancing the Death Drill by Fred Khumalo.
Yes, of
I
course.
watched the play and I thought, and everybody, like most of my friends have read the book and they were shocked I have not read the book. So I'm loving it.
Walked the dog?
I walked Ossie yesterday.
How is little Ossie?
Ossie is good.
Does he behave in the dog park?
He does. I mean, he gets too excited because I think he gets too lonely because he's always alone. But when he gets to the dog,
or a little sister,
he's already a lot on his own. Like I'm not even thinking about that
breed
right
is he?
now. Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lovely dogs. Lovely dogs. What color?
I don't know. And it's brown.
You get red ones.
It's not
you
reddish.
get black ones.
It's not black.
You get white ones, I think, even.
No, it's
or
not
like
white.
creamish.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture.
No?
Yeah.
What's
The
on the show?
brownish, somewhere along those lines.
What
So
colour
coming up
is
on
he?
the show, what color is the show?
You don't see color when
Let me- Okay, DA, is that you? So on the open line, we're gonna start with. We'll reflect, of course, on the Proteas at the Women's Cricket World Cup. We'll reflect on the New York Marathon yesterday. I also want us to talk about what Pastor Bushiri said on Friday, because I think he is actually admitting that he was involved in bribery, because he says senior corrupt law enforcement officers kept on coming to collect monies. They came to collect monies. Collecting money means you were also engaging in paying the bribe. And that's what they had come to collect. So we'll chat about that as well. At 10 o'clock, though, we're going to be focusing on the African continent. There are some disturbing developments in Sudan, in Tanzania, and in Nigeria. So we'll be live in Sudan, we'll be live in Nigeria as we try and make sense of what's happening. And then 10:30, we continue with our series looking at South African wars. It's like a history lesson we've had over the last couple of weeks. Today, we're going to be discussing the Second Anglo-Boer War. And then at 11 o'clock, we do our Family Matters feature. Today, we're discussing financial abuse in family relationship. That pattern of behavior where... Have you been a victim or a perpetrator?
Clement Manyatela show between 9 and 12.
Hey guys, this is Robert Marawa, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Playing responsibly is part of the winning strategy. Make smart choices and continue to score. If you or someone that you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
At Auto & General, we understand your business is built on more than just vehicles. It's your stock, tools and equipment, and the premises where you work. Auto & General Business Insurance is designed for businesses like yours, protecting your assets against fire, theft, storms, and other unexpected events. To protect your livelihood, visit autogen.co.za and get an obligation-free business insurance quote. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Morning, Bongani and the listeners. Yo, Bongani, that was such a shocking interview. At this point, I'm also worried about you as a journalist and, all the journalists that get to speak to such witnesses and whistleblowers. Yeah, no, man, it's terrible. Lately, all we hear about even on TikTok and various social media platforms is how we are seeing the kind of madness that we're in. But the question is, what must happen now? What needs to happen now? Yeah, no, this is honestly just disheartening. Victoria from Pretoria.
Morning, Bongles. It just goes to prove we are a corrupt society. We don't care about our whistleblowers. No, it's also the ANC can enrich themselves and all their offshoots because they are the ones that are perpetuating the bulk of the corruption in this country. But the population will still vote for them. So heaven help this country.
Good day, Bongani. Good day, Swaziland. Abraham in Florida. Bongani, since when we have so many whistleblowers dying, isn't it possible to reduce the VIP, the Minister's Protection Unit, and redirect those funds into whistleblower protection? And we, as the public, we wouldn't mind to chip in a few coins here and there to make sure that that unit works, as opposed to protecting the very same people who are supposed to be the custodians of these funds and all of these things, but they're the same people that are stealing the money. But anyway, I see Kolapo.
Listen, let's not be naive about this. Whistleblowers aren't getting protected, or the protection is inadequate, not because the resources and the people to protect them are not there. It's the will to do so. Mr. T in that interview at some point tells me about the cartridges that were lying on the floor after they tried to kill him. And he says, just from that, they could at the very least have identified the weapon that was used to try and kill him. There was enough evidence left at the scene. Nothing happened. They could threaten him in front of his bosses, and nothing happened. So it isn't because the resources to investigate and find out who did these things aren't there. It's the will that isn't there. That's the real issue. And maybe you have a point about VIP protection services, because sometimes I wonder, I understand why we need to protect the president, for example, but some of these other officials, I often wonder, who would come after you? Who would try to kill you? Do you know what I mean? There's some ministers, there's some deputy ministers that you don't know. This person you could meet at Pick and Pay and you wouldn't know this person is a deputy minister. Often, how do you find out? It's the entourage, isn't it? I have spoken before about Toko Didiza when she was minister. She's now, of course, the speaker, right, in Parliament. She's Speaker of the National Assembly. I've met her at the airport wearing, wearing it German with the duke and the dress. And I landed and I was walking past her, and of course I greeted her. She says, "Oh, what time have you just landed from Joburg? We're in Cape Town." And I said, "Yes." She says, "Oh yeah, because I'm here to pick up some people. I just wanted to make sure, what time that flight landed." She was a minister then. I think she was in agriculture at that time. She's now the speaker. She was a minister. She was there to pick up people at the airport with no bodyguards, no fuss. You see what I mean? Like, who would want to harm Utoko Didiza? I get why they have it. But sometimes you just think, and these whistleblowers are on their own, and these unimportant nobodies with nothing to do, as we heard from one deputy minister recently, have all the protection. Huh.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Onto something more inspirational at the moment. It is, of course, Disability Awareness Month that kicks off from today until the 3rd of December. And so today we're going to shine a spotlight on a superhero walking and breathing amongst us. Well, I say walking, but actually really he races among us. You've probably seen the clips that sometimes go viral. A man with crutches powering through marathons like the two oceans, leaving spectators and participants in awe and our little hearts in pieces. That's, of course, the unstoppable Ipeleng Kuno. Do I say it right? Kuno. Yes, beg your pardon. The unstoppable Ipeleng Kuno. He's also known as Mr. Crazy Legs, disability ambassador, supersport real world champion, and proof, of course, that no challenge can outrun sheer determination. Ipeleng, welcome to 702 Breakfast and thank you for popping in.
Bongani, it's nice to be here.
For anyone who is hearing your story for the first time, who is Ipeleng? Why do they call you Crazy Legs?
Yeah, man. Ipileng is someone, is a boy from Rustenburg, born without balance. And yeah, I just love running.
Tell me a little more. Don't be shy. So
yeah.
When you say you were born without balance, just tell me about that. Were you able to walk at some stage, or you've always just struggled to walk? Just explain what that means.
Yeah, so obviously I was born normal, and I think my mom probably picked it up late because when I was supposed to crawling, I was falling quite a lot and so on. So I had a late development, and I think when I was supposed to be really walking, they realized that I can't stand and so on. So, I grew up in physios and hospitals. So yeah, I've got a good relationship with hospitals, if one may say so, yeah.
And so that's always affected your ability to walk freely without assistance.
You could say that, but I think because I grew up that way, for me, that was my normal. Yeah.
And so is the issue with the legs then, or is it with balance? Because I also understand those things are like with the ears, for example, and so on.
So with me, it's a brain, it's called a brain deformity. They don't even call it a disability because basically what it means is the message to say how balance must, work on my body is not going through. So it's basically that.
And that's why I wanted that clarity because in a sense, your legs on their own can do the business, but it's the brain that's not connecting to what they ought to be doing.
Yeah. It's like bad signal on a cell phone.
It's like?
It's like a bad signal on a cell phone.
It's like a bad signal on a cell phone. That's a really good way to put it. So obviously growing up, shall we say, differently abled then?
Yeah.
Growing up differently abled has presented some challenges, I would imagine, for you.
No, I had toys, so I was the coolest kid around. Yeah, sure, I had challenges, but I mean, I was the popular kid. My friends I had a whole lot of friends. We would play outside.
Were you the naughty one?
Yeah.
Got away with murder?
Listen, not got away. I would get the
instigator.
beatings. So yeah, my mom and everyone around would just, it was during that time when everyone's child was the community's child. So if you are naughty, it's gonna
the
hurt.
whole village deals with you.
Yeah.
So what made you say, all right, I have this background, I have this particular challenge to overcome. Tell you what, let me run some marathons.
Started off in 2016. I was about 120 plus kgs, and 2 gym memberships. I couldn't get to gym. I was thinking, so where to? Traffic was horrible. I was working in Houghton, couldn't get to both gyms. So I decided to start running, and I think I fell in love with running. And from there on, it just took off. And
How many marathons have you run so far?
Full marathon, it's one. It was London, but 21s, I can't tell how many I've run. But yeah.
What do you say to people with no challenges in terms of their ability to run or to even walk, who still feel that, running a half marathon, running a full marathon, that might be too much for me?
Obviously, running is not for everyone, but for me, it's important to challenge yourself. I think the nice thing about a marathon is you literally defy the odds against yourself. Everyone thinks a marathon is this nice thing. You do feel the pain. Everyone feels the pain. Even Gerda Elliot will tell you about the pain and so on. So it's something that when you beat your body, nothing is better than you being able to beat yourself.
What gets tough for you?
I think my shoulders and my arms. So depending what type of a race it is. If it's a downhill, then my feet will feel it more because I am much more strong on the uphills.
You're much stronger on the uphills.
Yes, sir.
Because you've got a little bit more control
yes.
than facing down.
Yeah.
Right, I can see that. Right, you're a super sport real world champion. What does that mean?
That means for me, I am a pioneer for something that is not being done, and that also just means that I've got an opportunity to change sport as it's known. At the moment, running on crutches is not a Paralympic sport, and I'm currently trying to change that into a Paralympic sport.
Tomorrow is the World Run Fun Run. The World Run Fun Run. That's happening tomorrow. This is in Modderfontein.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're going to be having fun. We've invited a couple of people, and a whole lot of runners must please come through. We're going to be running, I think I'm specifically going to be running a 2 kilometer where we're going to be simulating how I run and what does it mean for me to run, because part of the challenge is the guys that I'm going to be running with will have to try and pour water into my mouth because it's not something that I can do on my own when I run. So it's going to be quite nice to see who gets it right and so on.
All right, this is, of course, at the Flamingo Shopping Centre. This is on Modderfontein, Corner Valley Road and Queen Street in Modderfontein. It's happening tomorrow from 4:30 in the afternoon. And, of course, it is also about raising awareness for Disability Awareness Month. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So what are we hoping to do? The more people who come, we're raising funds. What are we doing?
Yeah, we're also going to be signing a pledge. We also going to have a special flag where, we trying to raise disability and really create, I think the message that I would like to send out is a message of inclusion. So that's what the flag will be about, where we're trying to encourage everyone to be more inclusive, because I think being inclusive is not necessarily a disability thing, but you can imagine as you get older, you start having, your own, bit of challenges and so on. And if we can create a world that is more inclusive, then, we will all benefit from it.
And also they can check out, I imagine, your social media pages. Instagram, what's your handle?
Yeah, it's CKRAZY. It's Crazy Legs, but spelled CKRAZY.
Okay, you can check out Crazy Legs on Instagram. Ipeleng Crazy Legs Kuno joining us in studio this morning to kick off our Disability Awareness Month. And we'll have more stories that will make you shed a tear or two. And if you're feeling a little discouraged this morning, a little overwhelmed, perhaps that story is enough to make you believe you too can make it.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
Look at the time. It's 9 o'clock, and that means we have stayed, or at least overstayed, our welcome, because the Clement Manyatela Show starts now.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Suspected criminal Vusmuzi Kat Matlala's web of corruption in the SAPS is set to continue to take center stage as the Matlala Commission hears about the businessman's links to several senior police officials. Recent testimony before the Commission of Inquiry has implicated senior cops who Matlala allegedly bankrolled to avoid accountability